Mariners dropped their series to the Dodgers last night 6-2. It was the 7th game in a row Seattle surrendered at least one run in the first inning. They come back home tonight for a series against the Twins. A long homestand here with one coming up against the Tigers after this.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. We're going to figure out whether this is rock bottom for the Seattle Mariners. It's certainly rock bottom for my snapshot.
Yo, I'm like, are you good?
I struggled. I messed it up, but it doesn't matter. And if you're listening to the podcast, you didn't even hear it, so we're fine. We're fine.
Everything's fine.
Before I get into whether or not this is rock bottom for the Mariners and everything we saw over a really bad road trip. By the way, they haven't won a series on the road since May.
That clocks.
May? That was 4 years ago. That's absolutely insane. Bump, I would ask you about your night, but I already know what happened. You fell asleep watching this game.
I decided to fall asleep.
You chose to fall asleep.
Yeah, usually, I'm hanging there. I hate the 7-10 starts on a weekday. I'm getting old, right? I'm like, all right, let's hang in there. And then when they had the bases jacked in, the 6th or 7th or something like that, and only got one run out of it. I think Cal walked, and we got a run in. And then I saw the Dodgers respond. I was like, yeah, we ain't winning this one. I'm going to go ahead and get a couple more hours of sleep and just catch up on the rest of the game in the morning when I woke up. And when I woke up, I watched the rest of the game, and I said, yeah, it did exactly the way I thought it was going to end. So this was the first time this year where I just tapped out. I'm like, yeah, it ain't worth it today.
And I'm not even mad. Like, I completely understand. While we've made fun of you many a time for admitting to falling asleep in a chair, very dad-like, with your New Balances on. Sorry, your Skechers. You have your home Skechers.
My Crocs.
They're your house shoes. We've made fun of you before, but I couldn't blame anyone for checking out of this one, especially when, let's get to the first issue here, they were already trailing by the first. This is the 7th straight game in which the Mariners gave up a run in the first inning. And I want to spend a couple minutes on this, figuring out what the heck is happening. We'll start with Jon Morosi. Let's go to cut 12. This is Jon Morosi talking about, for a team whose entire identity is pitching, it hasn't looked good lately.
And the rotation has been much more average since the All-Star break. It's been quite mediocre, if we're being fair about it, in terms of the collective group. And that's why the Mariners find themselves in this mediocre space right now, what the record says. The record says they're a very average team. They should be a well above average team. They're not. And so they probably need to get one more bat and then just hope that their internal guys perform better.
So Morosi saying pitching has been mediocre post All-Star break. And before you text in and say, oh my God, they've been bad all year, that's not true. I know that, Bryan Woo's home and road stats have been bad all year. In fact, it's the biggest difference, something like a 2.20 ERA and 6-something ERA. That's probably even worse now. It's the most pronounced for any starter in baseball. However, as a whole, that includes their bullpen, they had the 6th best ERA heading into the All-Star break, and certainly prior to it. I mean, there was a run there where their pitching was looking phenomenal, and we know that they have good pitching. They may not have an Tarek Skubal level ace, right? But this is a room that has, in theory, an answer. So my question: pitching has been mediocre post All-Star break, says Jon Morosi. Why?
Why? They ain't been performing. It is what it is. This is what I don't like. I'm done with saying this team should be good. They should be this. No, 100-plus games in, this is who they are. This is who they are. After the All-Star break, they've been a team that have given up a bunch of runs. You got games where you give it up. We got 5, 7. We got 6. We got another 7. We got another 6. They just been giving up a whole bunch of runs and haven't been producing. The thing that's been common all year is that the bats really haven't been that hot. They go on little runs and get streaky or whatnot. But the arms have been things that have kept you in it. So if anything, the arms should be better because the arms have been better for the majority of the year. But as far as the team goes, should is no longer a thing for me. This is just who they are.
And I get it. This is who they are this year. But because it's not been who they are, why? Right? If you're listening and you're angry, let me tell you what. You're angry because you had higher expectations. There were fans all over the state, there were, critics and experts and reporters all over the country that looked at this roster and said, you know what? We have a track record for a lot of these players. We know who Cal Raleigh is. And no one entered the season thinking Cal Raleigh was 2025. But they looked at Cal Raleigh leading every single catcher in home runs since 2022 and thought, okay, I think we know who Cal is. They looked at Julio. They looked at Randy Rosarena, who's been incredibly consistent. They looked up and down this roster at players who are young enough to still be impactful and not dreading a drop-off, barring someone like Castillo, but also who simultaneously had good track records and said, I think we know what we can expect. So this is who they are. You're right. There's no more like they should be better, let's expect more, but it's not who they've been. So why? Like, that's my single greatest question for the Mariners is why? Why does Cal look like this? Why does Naylor look like this?
If I knew that answer, I wouldn't be sitting here with you 10 to 2
nor
Monday
would
to
I,
Friday.
and they would have it fixed. But what I'm saying is that question is real.
Yeah, it's real. There's something that I do throughout a season, no matter what sport it is, no matter what team it is. You go in with expectation. There's a preseason talk, spring ball talk. This is what I think. This is what should happen. Then you get in there and you say, especially with baseball, give it time to work out. Let it marinate. Let's see what happens. With football, within the first 3 weeks, you kind of have an idea what your team's going to be. Baseball takes a bit longer. Then you get to the halfway point during the season. Then you tell yourself, okay, well, these things need to happen for them to reach their full potential. Then you get past the halfway mark, and you kind of settle in and say, all right, well, this feels like it could be a disappointment, but I'm going to leave a little space for hope because you never know. Teams get hot. They turn things around. Things start to click. You make a move at the trade deadline, and we shall see. August 3rd, I'm going to see what happens, and then I'm going to make my final decision when it comes to this team of how I think this season is going to end. And it's unfortunate because I went into the season thinking all the same things.
You're
going to
make your final decision on August 3rd?
Not final decision. I'm going to predict my prediction. Right after the 3rd, and I see what moves they've made. I'm like, all right, this is what I think is going to happen. But then after a few weeks of that, it's like, all right, this is who they are. So, it's been a weird year for this team. Yeah. I know what they should have been, but they're not. I'm going to treat them or talk about them as who they are today. They are a team that have the bats who struggle. You got Cole Young and Randy Rosarena are your best bats right now. If we started the season and I was like, hey, Randy and Cole are going to be your best bats, you'd be like, they're under 500 because Josh ain't balling, Julio ain't balling, Cal ain't doing his thing.
Fell off and Julio lost his legs.
But record-wise, you're not expecting them to be in the mix.
No, I don't want to see.
They still are in the mix. Fortunately, they still are in this mix, but things need to happen. They need to happen quickly. And with the combination of the arms falling off, it's a recipe for disaster.
Did you see Jeff Passan's trade deadline preview, his most recent one on ESPN?
Nah.
He kind of looks at everyone like, hey, here's what I think is going to happen. But he looks at every single team to describe, like, what's the big question? Where are they right now? What's going on with this team? And I really like what he said about the Mariners. He talked about the biggest question is just what's wrong with the Mariners? Like, what's going on with this team? And he said that by virtue of being only 2.5 back from the Rangers, who lost yesterday again to the Rays, so they dropped a series to the Rays. Houston didn't play. By virtue of being only 2.5 back, they can't quit. They simply have to buy. They simply have to add. They simply have to be in this. Like it is a disservice to your team, to your organization, most especially to your fans.
Yeah.
To just punt. Like you cannot do that. It is malpractice to do that. Only being 2.5 back. At the same time, they've not shown at any point that they're good, that they're a playoff team, and they're stuck in this weird limbo of like you have to add because you're in such a horrible division, but like. What's your actual ceiling and why? Right. For the love of God, is it so much lower than we thought it would be? Curtis, you have a theory when it comes to the pitching. You and I earlier were talking about like, hey, is this like a pitch calling philosophical approach? And that's not to say, oh, Cal's calling bad pitches, because whatever Cal's doing is a whole plan.
Right. I think when it comes to like the first inning runs that the Mariners have allowed this year, or not this year, this road trip specifically, I think it's just the Mariners pitchers live in the strike zone, and hitters are approaching those at-bats knowing they are going to get pitches to hit. It's up to them to, make contact with them and put them in play. And with a lineup like the Dodgers, a top of the order like the Dodgers too, who didn't even have Ohtani last night, like that's a team you cannot really just put stuff over the plate against, because they're not going to miss. The Rangers were very advantageous too in how the Mariners approached them early on in games. And the start of a game, you're obviously going to throw strikes because you want to get off to a good start. Like, the first pitch of the game is hopefully going to be a strike. And if you're a batter, it's like, well, if I know that this guy's going to start me off with a strike, I'm swinging. Like, I'm not wasting time at all. What was it? Jock Peterson had a leadoff home run against George Kirby back in Texas. So I think just the Mariners' inability to kind of go outside the zone, or at least like reluctance to, has kind of backfired here over the last 7 games.
I feel like what I'm getting from the Mariners, you guys tell me if I'm wrong, what I'm getting is that because there are some real issues here with stubbornness and hubris, and by that I mean they are stubborn about their philosophy. On the one hand, you want to be stubborn about your philosophy. How often did we talk about this last year with the Seahawks, or why it was important to move on from Ryan Grubb, right? Like, to be stubborn and insistent about who you are. So we know that that's something you need to do in sports, but you also need to adapt, and you need to be aware of the talent that you have and work around that talent. On the other side of things, let's say where it comes to controlling the zone for their pitchers, they want to call the best pitch for their pitcher and just, hey, our guy's going to beat your guy. But, like, are you being honest about where your pitchers are right now? Does your philosophy totally work for those pitchers and where they are in this moment? And if you're becoming, as a team, as hitters and as pitchers, too predictable because you are too stubborn about a philosophy, how do you change that?
That's tough, man. I was watching Roki use that splitter last night, set everything up. Hit you with a splitter and then hit you with a fastball in the hundreds. He's painting the corners, right? When Roki missed last night, it was outside of the zone. When Woo missed last night, it was middle. Like, it was right down that thing. I'm going to miss an even opportunity. I don't know if that's their philosophy. I know that Kirby likes to throw strikes. I know that Woo likes to throw strikes. I don't know what they're pitching. I don't know the pitching coach is saying, all right, guys, we're going to throw a lot of baseballs over the plate against the best team in the game today. I doubt that the pitching staff is saying that to these guys. I think they're just not executing. And I also think sometimes that ego can come into play. Like, I'm going to get this guy out. I'm going to throw him some gas, and I'm going to try to get him to swing at this. So I'm going to give him a favorable-looking pitch. There's so many things that could be happening. I hope that the Mariners pitching staff is not sitting there telling these guys, lots of strikes against this team, boys. You got Tucker in the 6th spot. I mean, you're dealing with Tucker in the 6th spot, Teo in the 7th spot.
Yeah.
This order is crazy. And like you mentioned, Ohtani ain't even out there.
No.
I doubt that was their approach going into this series. I think it's execution.
I'm going to play this next cut, and then I want to talk about what changes look like. Cut 2, this is a down-sounding Aaron Goldsmith after this game.
Well, we saw it in game 1, but not in the last 2. 6-2 the final, as the Mariners are left looking at the 2-time defending champs winning this series here inside Dodger Stadium. The Mariners, you got no time to mope. You're coming back home. Probably landing back home in Seattle around 2:30 in the morning, and then you're right back at it tomorrow against the Twins, who just made a deal for a new reliever. It's starting to stack up on the Mariners. Time to act. August is coming.
It's time to act. August is coming. And by the way, speaking of moping, if you guys were looking at the dugout on the broadcast, if you by chance were watching the broadcast instead of, listening to play-by-play, the guys looked like they'd been eliminated from the postseason. Like, they looked worn down, upset, depressed, sad, lethargic. I wouldn't say like angry, but just defeated, utterly defeated. You got 52 games, and I think they have made it clear. You can hear it in Cal's comments. You can hear it from Bryan Woo. They have made it very clear that they know the problem is them. By no means are you hearing like any of these guys do interviews and tell Shannon, like, I just think we need bats. I think we need to add. Every single one of them, to a man, has said we need to be better.
Yeah.
Well, you're not. So what changes? Is it Dan's approach? Is it the philosophy from your decision makers? Like, you have to turn inward and look at what is our issue here. What are we being stubborn about? We were clearly way too confident going into the season that this would be absolutely it for us, and we need to be very honest with ourselves about who we are, where we are, and how we change it. it better not just be players turning inward. They need to.
You're not going to change your philosophy 100-plus games in. You're not going to walk into the clubhouse and say, all right, guys, forget everything we talked about during the preseason or spring ball during the first half of the season. We're going to switch it up. This is what we're doing. No, you can't do that. I mean, Dan and his staff, I would assume, have worked all offseason to come up with their approach to this team in certain situations. It has to be the players. What can Dan do? Dan can go out there. He's going to make some decisions. We're going to agree with him. We're not going to agree with him. But he's not going to. Dan can't sprinkle a little magic powder.
Dan can have tougher
Dan
leadership.
can't sprinkle a little bit of powder on this team and say, all right, guys, now go out and hit the dang ball.
I think Dan can have more accountability for people.
That's fine. It comes down to the players, though. Yes, Dan, if it was in a different situation, who knows where Dan would be right now. There's a lot of stuff that surrounds this whole situation. But at the end of the day, Julio's in the batter's box.
Yeah.
Josh is in the batter's box. Wu is on the mound.
Yeah, Cal's got to do way more.
Dan can have some influence.
Yep.
He can try to light a fire under them. But it comes down to the players. The same guys that people were saying before, this is a World Series caliber type of team. Why? Because you looked at the talent that was assembled on this roster. The talent got a talent. The talent got to play. Dan holds some responsibility. Jerry, Justin, all those guys. But the dudes who are in the batter's box just need to execute.
I'm just throwing in a devil's advocate question. What if part of why they're not executing? Like, I wonder about off-season stuff. You had a heartbreaking end to your season. And then you had a million people pulling you guys in a million different directions, dealing with a level of attention you guys had never dealt with before. Like, I do wonder about, like, how much time did people spend? I think all of these guys are good guys. All of them are hard workers. I've heard nothing but good things about this club. But, like, I wonder, like, WBC, like, doing whatever it is that you guys are doing, right? Like, how much does that impact things? So that's one question I have, and that is total, like, accountability on them. But otherwise, what else might be at play? Like, what if there's something here with their approach at the plate? What if there's something here they're being told to do? I'm just throwing out the question.
Yeah, I mean, there's clearly something wrong with the approach. Clearly, if there wasn't anything wrong with the approach, and I think these guys would be executing. You know, I don't. Those are questions that I just don't have the answers to because I'm not in the clubhouse. I don't talk to Dan. I don't talk to these guys. I think, end of the day, these guys are professionals. For example, right, when I came here to the Seahawks, and we're going through training camp, we're going through OTAs. This was the least coaching I ever got in my life. Why? Because you're a professional. They're going to coach you up. They're going to tell you a couple things and tweak some things there. But end of the day, you are a professional athlete. You are getting paid more than the coaches on this staff. There's a certain responsibility you have to come into the season prepared and make those tweaks yourself. And there's only so many tweaks you can do in the batter's box as well. So that's why I put a lot of the ownership on the players because you're a pro. I know all pros are tweeting. Man, when I was with the Hawks, they didn't tell me nothing about route running. Get your spot when you're here on time. It's more about formation and where to be. With these guys, there's only so much you can do, so much you can tweak. And I think the damage has been done. The major changes come during the offseason. When you're in the flow of a season, you got to look within and say, all right, I got to get this done. I had a horrible coaching sometimes, man, on some of my teams. And you know what I said? I'm not going to let that coach affect what I'm doing. I got to go out and figure some stuff out. They got to do it. Coaches need a coach. I'm not getting them off the hook. There's something that they could do to help these guys for sure. That's why you are hired. That's why they pay you the money. But end of the day, who's getting $220 million guaranteed? Fair. Julio Rodriguez.
Fair.
Who just signed a 7-year, $100-something million? Cal Raleigh.
Fair.
They just got to go out and do it at this point.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, rewrite!
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump Stacy.
Headline number one, the Mariners return home. Their next opponent, the Twins, won Thursday on a walk-off grand slam while trailing 3-0 with 2 outs in the ninth.
No!
What's the real headline?
God, it sucks to see someone else living your dream. Didn't it feel like the Mariners were kings of those kinds of wild finishes in previous seasons? Not anymore.
Must be
Also,
nice.
speaking of someone living your dream, I want to apologize to the Twins because when they were really hot in April, I did not take them seriously because they had been through a teardown, so much so that I jokingly on air kept saying Twapril, like as a play on Rocktober. I was like, oh, watch out, it's Twapril. Well, look at them now. Look
at
who's
them now.
laughing now. The Minnesota Twins, that's who.
I don't know. I forgot who hit that grand slam, but that was a dream, right? You dream of that as a kid.
That with 2 outs?
2 outs?
2 outs.
You need the grand slam to win this game. Man, that was fun, man. And, yeah, big ups to them. It's crazy how things have changed. Remember when Boston was garbage and they won like 15 in a row? Remember when the Marlins were balling and they lost like 10 in a row?
Yeah, they're sellers now.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly things can change. The positive about that is with even the drastic changes that we've seen with some teams, yes, the Mariners ain't playing their best ball, but they are legit still in it. We're just waiting for that one run to kind of change some things.
They play better at home, so let's see if it happens here. Again, first pitch tonight. Curtis, you might have the schedule in front of you. 6:40 or 7:10?
7:10.
7:10. Okay, thank you. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Deebo Samuel reuniting with the 49ers on a one-year deal. What's the real headline?
Are we sure Deebo and Mike Evans will hold up playing next to an electrical substation? Keep those two guys. You know what? Have them practice at a YMCA 30 miles away.
Their hamstrings are going to be looking like pulled pork.
Easy. Falling off the bone, bro.
Pulled pork. Goodness gracious.
What'd you make of this move, and what does it tell you about Ricky Pearsall?
Hey, Ricky ain't going to be playing a lot of football this year, if any at all. It's unfortunate. But that's good for Deebo to go back to a system that he understands and that understands him. I think he's a good compliment to Mike Evans. Mike Evans isn't the downfield burner that he used to be, but he's still a possession receiver that can get behind some safeties. You get Deebo underneath. I like it. It's just now you got to take care of Deebo. Deebo's not that young fella we saw 4 or 5 years ago that you put him in the backfield, put him at tight end, move him around, and he takes all these hits. You got to be careful with it, but I'm not mad at that move. It makes complete sense.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, FIFA is pushing forward with plans to expand the World Cup to 64 teams, and their hope is to have the new field in place by August 14th, just 2 weeks from today. What's the real headline?
Oh, so they had it in the U.S. to just copy March Madness. That's what it was. They were looking for some advice here. I thought it was like, how do we generate money with these halftime shows? But it was just, you guys get how many billions from expanding the playoffs? How many extra commercials do you get?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, how many sponsors do you add?
I kind of like it.
Least surprising thing.
You do?
Like
I like it because you get more stories like Cape Verde with Spain. Like, there are some small countries that can give you a scare. They're not going to win this thing. They're not going to get to the knockout round and get to the round of 8 and the semis and stuff. But soccer is a sport where if you come out there slipping, a small country can't get you.
What?
Yeah. We just saw it. Did you watch? I watched every game, at least some of every game this World Cup.
Yeah, Cape Verde surprised a lot of people, but that the final 4 teams fighting in the World Cup were mostly what people
it's always
going to
be that. It's always going to be that.
So you just like those early rounds where a team just kind of like falls in there.
Just like March Madness.
All of a sudden you have a University of Maryland, Baltimore County or whatever it was.
I like it. And it helps. It helps the economy of those small countries, man. Like, it's just fun. I like seeing the underdog have a chance. We know who's going to be there at the end of the day.
Yeah, France, España,
England,
Argentina. Well, I don't know about Argentina now.
Morocco thrown there. It's just, who the top 10 teams are in the world, and they're going to be there. But, hey, let the little homie have a bite.
Something's different with Sam Darnold this year. We'll tell you what that means next.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Put in the work every day,
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When an emergency happens, be the first to know. Alert Seattle helps you stay safer and connected. This free service includes alerts about severe weather, safety, health, utility disruptions, major traffic accidents, and more. If you live or work in Seattle, Alert Seattle is the city's official emergency alert system. Sign up for text, email, or phone alerts during emergencies near your home, work, school, and more. Text Seattle to 67283. AlertSeattle.gov to learn more and sign up.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The official language of football is trash talk, late-night group chats, memes, and unbelievable highlight clips. That's why Boost Mobile brings you our new global connection plan, the first plan ever made for WhatsApp. Get unlimited data, talk and text, international roaming, and calls to over 100 countries for just $40 a month.
$40 price includes $5 a month auto pay discount. After 40 gigabytes of premium high-speed data, speeds will be lowered. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit store or boostmobile.com for details.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Holy smokes, I can see. Hey, everybody, it's Rick Riz, and I just had refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision, and it's amazing. K2 Vision RLE means no more readers or glasses for me. Plus, I'll never get a cataract. Now, when I call a game, you won't see those readers dangling from the end of my nose to see the field and then my notes. I only wish I had done it sooner. It's like seeing a whole new ball game. K2 Vision RLE was quick and painless, over in just minutes, and I knew I was in great hands. The K2 Vision RLE team has done over 150,000 lens procedures. You can trust their stuff. K2 Vision RLE is my permanent solution to a lifetime of great vision. It could be yours too. Enjoy life's good years without readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Get your free Zoom consult now at K2VisionRLE.com. Then you can make the same call I did. Goodbye, glasses. K2VisionRLE.com.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
It's different for Sam Darnold, Bump. It's not a haircut. He looks the same.
I don't know. I think his beard lineup might be a little different.
Yeah, looking crisp.
Yeah,
looking ready for camp.
He went down the Federal Way to the barbershop and got hooked up.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. So I guess there is something a little different to the eye, but no, I'm talking about different just in terms of opportunity. In fact, we were talking about this a little bit off air as part in show prep, and you said of Sam Darnold, he has an opportunity to kind of enter in a season in a very, very different way than ever before.
Yeah, he could be. His influence could be greater this year. And because he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, that changes your profile. It should change the way you walk. You should be stand a bit taller, chest puffed out a little bit more.
You talk a bit more.
Yeah. And you're with the same team for the first time in a few years. Mm-hmm. So now you have this offensive coordinator coming in who is pretty much adopting your offense. He's adding his own thing, but he's adopting your offense. So theoretically, you know this offense better than he does. So there should be a bit more back and forth. Not to say that it wasn't that way with Kubiak, but I would assume after the year that Sam Darnold had, I know he turned the ball over a bunch of times, but he did have 4 game-winning drive. He was perfect in the playoffs when it comes to keeping the ball and not turning it over. He should have a bit more influence on what's going on. And I would hope that him and Fleury are going back and forth and tag teaming this offense and just sharing ideas.
I'm glad you mentioned him playing with the same team in 2 straight seasons. First time, like you said, I think 5 years, cut 9. Here's what Sam had to say to reporters when asked about that.
You know, having that stability and understanding kind of what you're coming back to. Also with Fleury, you know, the offense not really changing a ton. There's some tweaks here and there, but it's nice to be back with the same guys.
What's it mean to have that stability offensively? I know it's a different OC, but same kind of system. What does that do for a quarterback in terms of, I don't know, like understanding of the offense, chemistry with guys? Does that make a huge difference?
Huge difference. I mean, I look at Jalen Hurts. He had, 5 straight seasons with 5 different offensive coordinators.
And now he's got another one, even if it's an upgrade.
It's wild because when you have a new offensive coordinator, you're dating again. OTAs, you're dating.
Got to learn each other.
You know, what is he like? What doesn't he like? How do I communicate with him? When do I know he's frustrated? All that stuff matters. I know people want to keep it just black and white and say, just play football, do your thing. They're human beings with emotions and thoughts that are involved in this whole thing. So him being able to be in the same spot, right? He's sleeping in the same house probably for the second straight season for the first time in a long time. Wifey's happy about that. Yep. The mood when he walks in the house is better. You just came off a Super Bowl championship run. He should be so confident and so secure with who he is at this point that maybe he does naturally speak up a bit more and share some ideas with Fleur.
They're sharing toothbrushes. Actually, can I say 2 things? This is a PSA. I have to say 2 things that in relationships I cannot understand. Like, how do people do this? Number 1 is share toothbrushes. I think that's disgusting. And 2, go to the bathroom with the door open.
I've done both.
Sam,
I've done both.
Let me do it. I know that Sam's there with the Seahawks right now. They're sharing toothbrushes, going to the bathroom with the door open, you know, picking food off each other's plates. They're burping in front of each other. Like, it's just a different level of intimacy.
You ever fart in front of your partners?
I've never farted in my life, but no, I haven't. No, I don't. I don't go to the bathroom with the door open. Like, I think that maybe it's because I haven't been married. Maybe there's a different level. Maybe you and Curtis. Or maybe it's different with guys. I don't know. Maybe as a woman, there's pressure to keep a bit of.
Oh yeah. When we were dating, it was still a level of comfort. Yeah.
How long into dating was the door open?
A few months.
Okay.
Yeah. A few months.
Not until we were married. But I was farting around her.
First fart.
A few months into the relationship.
Yeah. A few months.
I once dated a girl who farted before I did in the relationship. And that was a weird power of balance.
My sister and her boyfriend have been together for 5 years. And again, there's just a different pressure for women to be like, no, absolutely not, under no circumstances. So he has a note in his notes app. He keeps track of every time that she's farting as like a joke to be like, I know I heard you. You're lying, but I know for a fact you did it there.
I remember Jen was asleep one time, and she farted, and I was so excited that I heard it. I woke her up. I caught you.
Like
I finally got you.
It's like a unicorn. They'll never know. Anyways, that's where Sam and the Seahawks are. Let's get back to actual offense. Let's go to cut 10. What's next for Sam Darnold then with this new level of familiarity?
I'm excited for it. He's doing a great job right now. He's playing very efficiently, making fast decisions. He's being aggressive. He's got command of the whole operation. And he's doing it in his style. You know, it's still the Sam Darnold way, which is really cool. And I'm really excited about it. So, you know, I'm not going to put a cap on or whatever, but I would say that, like, you know, we feel like Sam can take his game to another level, just like with our football team.
Okay, so I keep saying, well, the next level for Sam is not to throw interceptions. In fact, one day when you were out and I was doing Four Down Territory, I'm not the analyst of the show, we were talking about where does Sam take the next step, and I said, not 14 interceptions. So that's about as deep as I got. You know what I mean? I stay in my lane. So now I get to ask you the question, outside of just don't throw as many interceptions, how can Sam actually evolve? What does it look like for Sam? Is it more play action? Is it better decision making? I know that's part of interceptions, but like, what's a slightly deeper? We don't have to go super X's and O's here with like 5 minutes left, but what's a slightly deeper look at a fair expectation for Sam in his second year with a team that he now knows well?
Throwing the ball in the dirt on third down and not forcing it and creating a turnover. I think that's the thing, is that he wanted to make every play, and that's something that you don't want to take away from any athlete, especially your quarterback. You want your guy to be able and to want to go out there, and I want to make the play. I want the ball in my hand. I want to make this throw. I want to make this catch. I want to make this run. But sometimes you just have to take it on the chin, throw it in the dirt, take the sack, and just move on, especially because you have a defense that you know is going to have your back. You threw 4 interceptions against the Rams, and we're still in that game. Why? Because one interception, the defense forced a fumble, boom, they picked you up. They forced a 3 and out. So I think that's part of it. It's related to the turnover problem, but I think it's more just understanding what you have supporting you, like who's behind you. The best defense in the league, understand that, and limit the risk. Now, there are some times where it's fourth quarter, you got to go out there and try to make this play. And there's sometimes just like, look, man, 3 and out, we'll take it this time. Our defense has our back.
Fair expectation that chemistry with Rashid Shaheed is better this year?
Yeah, I think it already is. I was watching
what do you see?
Practice the other day. And my big thing with Rashid Shaheed is him understanding the windows when he crosses the middle of the field. Because when you run like a dig, right, when I coach the dig, I'm like, there's going to be a right now window, then there's going to be a later window. And as you're running down the field, 10, 15 yards, whatever, you're peeping and seeing who the flat defender is, who's the hook the curl defender is, what the safeties are doing, and you kind of anticipate where that first window is going to be. It's the right now. And if that's not there, still giving it an opportunity and then working your way across to the middle of the field. Little things like that show understanding of spacing and chemistry with Sam Darnold.
How do windows change differently over the middle of the field versus like an outside guy?
Well, going across the middle field, you're just dealing with different people, right? If I'm an outside receiver and I'm playing against a zone, it can be cover 3, cover 4. You're always going to have a flat defender under you, right? The corner's going to get deep. There's going to be somebody under you. You're dealing with that flat defender. When you're going across the middle, now you're pushing the corner. You're going across. You're dealing with the flat. You're dealing with the hook to curl, and maybe that safety comes down as well. So there's just a different type of awareness you need to have when you're across the middle of the field.
Yeah. Linda understands. Linda says, been married 43 years, and that door stays closed to the bathroom.
Hey, you do you, Linda. Go Cougs, Linda.
That's what I do, too. Curtis, someone's accusing you of being maybe so traumatized by that fart that you said power of balance instead of balance of power.
Yeah,
still
it truly
to this
was.
Day, it just shook you. It shook you a little bit.
It was more than a decade ago, probably closer to like 15 years ago now. But,
do you remember like where you were and everything? Like it's like a memory.
We were sitting on the couch together.
Oh, no.
And I think I said something that made her laugh. And then
that's love.
Through the laughter, a fart snuck out.
I was kind of a compliment.
I guess, but it was
a good joke.
We hadn't been dating all that long.
That's mortifying.
Might have been like 4 or 5 weeks at that point.
I bet she remembers it to this day too as something like
probably
really embarrassing. You want to say her first and last name just as a shout
out?
No. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, so that is the latest on Sam Darnold. There's some good stuff up on seattlesports.com from all the interviews, Sam Darnold's press conference, but from all the interviews that we and other shows have had this week, by the way, too. We're going to get away from the Seahawks for just a tiny bit, but we'll jump back in and we'll stay there for most of the day, starting at 11 with Jen Mueller. Coming up next, Bryan Woo kept it brutally honest.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Putting in the work every day, you know.
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Fast Home Services is a 5-tool player. One call for it all. Water heaters, plumbing, heating, cooling, electrical. Dave Wyman here, and the same Seattle company that's handled your hot water since 1986 is now handling everything that keeps the house running. One number, one team. Home field advantage for your home. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate, or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain.
DayandNight.net. Slow drain? Backed up toilet? Call Day and Night to save $100 off any drain cleaning.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. From a slow drain to a major backup, no drain is too big or too small. Whether we're your first choice or smart second opinion, I guarantee our experts will solve any drain problem, day or night.
Now get $100 off any drain cleaning.
DayandNight.net.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, you know, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. You know? Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Ichiro is back, and he's trading base hits for long balls. 50 season celebration weekend kicks off with the all-new Alumni Home Run Derby presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. On Friday, August 7th, after the team takes on the Rays, see Ichiro step up to the plate against other former Mariner sluggers. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump and I are live from Virginia Mason Athletic Center, where the Seahawks are set to kick off another practice. We'll talk with Abe Lucas a bit later in the show. Jen Mueller joining us next. So we have a lot of takeaways from training camp already and a lot of insight. But I do want to get back to the Mariners for 1 second, because I thought there were some pretty striking quotes from Bryan Woo following a deeply disappointing loss. And I know it was the Dodgers. I wasn't expecting a series win. I'm impressed they got a win against the Dodgers. But that dugout looked so defeated, utterly defeated. There's a shot of Julio sitting with his batting helmet over his eyes. His whole face is in shadow. He just looks dejected. And so I was interested in what guys had to say post-game. And maybe the most impactful was this from Bryan Woo. Cut 3. Let's take a listen.
Obviously, the year hasn't gone, how we anticipated it going, how a lot of us individually, had planned it going. But yeah, it's up to us. It's the front office and coaches and everybody's has put enough, into the product on the field. It's time for us to do something about it. It's, there's no more, wanting this or doing that. Like, it doesn't really matter. You got to show up on the field, one way or another.
I mean, it sounds like a guy who knows that he's part of the problem and a team who knows that the players are the problem. Again, I have questions about the philosophy. I have questions about having a team that's built around really streaky hitters. It's a team that I think understandably gets ice cold at times. It's a team that is almost routinely relying on a home run and near the bottom of the league offensively. However, they have a lot of talent, and I did praise the front office for adding. It sounds like Bryan Woo's kind of saying what you have, Bump, which is at a certain point, it's not Dan. At a certain point, it's not Jerry. It's not Justin. It's the guy holding the bat. It's the guy who's, got his glove on in the outfield.
Yeah. I reading the text line, there's a lot of people getting after Dan, and he's fair game. I don't think anyone is exempt from the criticism because of expectation that they set for themselves off of the year they had before and what they have coming back. But I also think that, and someone also said, well, post-game, Dan isn't holding these guys accountable when it comes to the press conferences. And, yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah. Rarely have I ever heard him, kind of call a guy out.
No, I think he has
private meetings. I grew up watching Phil Jackson, and Phil Jackson would call any and everybody out. Kobe, Shaq, Fisher, whatever. He would just call them out. Yeah. So I became accustomed to that. So seeing Dan kind of take the higher road when it comes to that is a bit concerning at times. But that doesn't mean that he's not having conversations privately. I don't think Dan is like a air our dirty laundry type of guy. He's guys going to talk to him privately. How are those talks going? I don't know. Not well, because we haven't seen these guys do their thing. But end of the day, the guys who have the bat in their hands, the ball in their hands, have to perform. It's a performance-based business. Old men coach, young men play. And in baseball, I think the coaches have the least influence on the actual gameplay than any other sport because it's not like they're calling plays.
But, and I hear you, and I think the vast majority of listeners will agree with you on that. Earlier I was saying off air, I was like, sometimes I feel kind of, because I really get on some of these guys like Cal and Naylor and Julio, and I was like, sometimes I almost feel bad for him. Like, am I being too harsh? Or like, man, are they feeling the pressure? And we were joking about like, yeah, they're getting paid millions of dollars to do this job, man. Like, they aren't going home reading a ton of comments on Twitter, I don't think. And so I think the vast majority of listeners agree with that. They think like, you got paid a lot of money to do this job, and you're not doing it right now. This isn't about me complaining that you're hitting 260 and you struck out in a big moment because that's baseball and the guy gets paid to pitch too. This is you hitting 160 and not doing much of anything. This is you guys as a club just kind of failing to get it together. My thing is, though, and this is what I wonder, I think that Cal and Julio and Naylor are really respected on this club and are good leaders on this club. But let's take Cal, who has the lowest average and has had the worst season of the three. I don't exactly know how Cal, if Dan has given a lot of the power to players, what's Cal supposed to do with that? Because if you're Cal, you can show up early and you can do your job and you can be like, sorry, I made commercials in the offseason. Like, I'm really trying here. I'm working really hard at it. But, like, if I'm Cole Young and I'm basically a rookie and I'm outperforming you, if I'm Randy Rosarena and, like, we already had a thing and, like, I'm crushing it right now, like, I'm your most consistent hitter, like, there's a certain point where it, A, is a bit unfair, and B, isn't effective to have so much responsibility with leadership or discipline or whatever on your players. And you have to do it as the manager. That's why I turn to Dan and where I kind of go, like, what are the guys that are underperforming supposed to do?
I don't think Dan is giving Cal the role of like disciplinarian.
Not disciplinarian.
But he has to, and even if Cal's not performing to a level he has performed at any of these seasons, he still has a track record longer than Cole, longer than any of these young guys who are here. So I understand like the question, like, okay, well, at some point, when do you kind of shift the leadership? You don't do it after one season. No, because Cal has 4 or 5 seasons of him being consistent and being that guy. And I think the guys on the team understand that too. I don't think Cole's looking at Cal and be like, you're not doing anything. Why would I listen to you? He's looking at Cal thinking, you're having a tough season, but you're still our leader, and you have a track record that's way longer than mine. I'm just having a good one this year. I'm going to fall in line. After a couple seasons, though, if knock on wood, I hope it doesn't, if this were to continue, then Cole kind of steps up and be like, all right, well, I'm going to be the guy because your leaders are your top performers. Any team. Why do you think, or you're potentially your top performers, why do you think that, which I hate, though, in football, a rookie quarterback with the captain patch? I'm like, he ain't done nothing. He's done nothing. But you need him to perform for this team to go somewhere. Yeah. So I think that's where Cal is right now. Obviously, the worst season he's ever had, but he's done so much for the organization that he has the respect of everyone there, even if he's not playing his best.
One last cut I want to get to. One more from Bryan Woo, and it's, I think, important to look forward at, like, okay, what now? In this case, Woo's talking about a mentality in terms of what now. Cut 17. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, I mean, I think the belief is probably the most important thing, that you don't lose that. Especially when things aren't going the way that you want them to and, not playing the way that you want to. The most important thing is to keep that belief in one another and the team, the group, the possibility. You got to hold on to it. Once you lose that, then you're done. So
I know that Woo does not sound excited in that cut, and he very much sounds like someone who's lost it. However, I don't think he has, and I also think players, Bump, players just think differently than people who are not playing. Mm-hmm. You have to. You fundamentally have to. You have to accept failure in a radical way that you don't as a normal person.
Yeah.
If you have a bad day, you have to forget it. You have to compartmentalize things. Especially baseball in very different ways, and so much of it is a mental grind. And as much as I know for a fact there are people going, Giselle, this season's lost, and I've changed my entire outlook for the expectation for the season, for the ceiling of the team, for how far they can go. All of that being said, the second a player thinks that, any player, it's done.
Yeah.
And if you are a player on this team going, can't wait for the offseason, let's get out of here.
No,
you need to be done too.
You got to keep fighting.
Frankly, how I feel. Get rid of that person then.
Yeah. No, you got to keep fighting. These are pros. These are athletes. They've had their highs. They've had their lows. And this is when a team has to come together because they got people like Bump and Stacy, Wyman and Bob, Brock and Salk talking about how bad they are and what needs to be done. This is when you block out the outside noise and you come together. Does it guarantee you're going to go on a run and make the playoffs? No. But when everyone else is talking about all your flaws, you have to be able to come to that clubhouse, be honest with each other, right? Mm-hmm. You can't pretend like things aren't going down. But they got to come together, man. And it has to happen quickly because the last time I checked, this is the last day of July.
Last time I checked,
it's July 31st.
Listen here, Chief.
All right? and rent is due tomorrow.
You got 52 days.
So they better lock it in fairly quickly.
Today's pitching matchup brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. Bryce Mueller faces off against Minnesota right-hander Zebby Matthews. And Jen Mueller joins us next.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob, 2 to 7.
Seahawks out here, Hard Knocks, film crew is out here. You kind of have to look for them. They did take up the whole gravel parking lot out there with all their trailers. Oh, did they? Yeah, but I think Mike McDonald, this is right up his alley, right? Like how to ignore it and don't worry about all of that stuff. He's all about that. It's going to be interesting to watch what footage they use, and they're out there recording everything. They got it dialed in. They've done this before.
On Seattle Sports. Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafy, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
A luxury ranch estate that overlooks its own lake? The Stillwater Ranch blends refined living, recreation, and income-producing land just minutes from Spokane. Explore this ranch and more at fayranches.com.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 2 tickets to see Santana and the Doobie Brothers at White River Amphitheater August 6th. Head to seattlesports.com/win to enter and see contest rules. That's seattlesports.com/win for your chance to win.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series to the Dodgers last night 6-2. It was a 7th game in a row in which Seattle surrendered at least 1 run in the first inning. They come back home tonight for a series against the Twins, who are coming off a big win. First pitch at 7:10 p.m. Pregame show starts at 6 p.m. on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Seahawks insider Jen Mueller live with us at Seahawks training camp. Jen, it's so good to see you. How's it going? Oh, yep, that button. I know. Trevor! Just kidding. Do we got you? There we go.
This is Mueller's first time doing media. She's nervous.
Like,
you know,
this is Jen.
Somebody else pushing buttons for me. What just happened there?
What a pro. She immediately knew where the mic. She's like, I got this. I'll operate the board myself. So I do have questions about your observations from camp, about new players, all kinds of stuff. But I wanted to start, just because you're so immersed in this club and seeing a lot behind the scenes, with a culture question. To me, it's fascinating, the idea of trying to repeat, because it's an entirely new obstacle. It's not figuring out that you can believe in yourself and do it. It's, well, how do you handle the success? How do you handle new challenges? It's fascinating to me. So what are you noticing about just the culture of a team that's trying to repeat?
Well, I was thinking about the word culture this morning, and to boil it down to anything, right? It doesn't matter which culture we're talking about. It's consistent messaging that is clear, that is followed by consistent actions. And you see it top to bottom in this organization. It's the number of times people say hello as you walk into the building, and it's everybody. It's the guys in the parking lot, it's security, it's the folks at the front desk, it's all the way through the building, right? When you have that level of consistency, you expect consistency for everything across the board, right? And so you heard Mike McDonald talk in the first couple of days about, look, I don't really care about the play calling right now. I don't really care about how things are showing up. I care about attention to detail and making sure that people understand our expectations from the get-go. He compared it to the teacher who lets things go for the first week of class and then tries to rein it back in, and he can't. And so what I'm seeing is that very clear line of, this is what we do, this is what your expectation is, and then people not being afraid. And it's not just the coaches, it's the veterans who come in and say, hey, we missed the mark. This is where it's going to get better. It's everything from Mike saying that wasn't a good enough series, go out and do it again, to the vets pulling rookies aside to say, hey, this is actually how we're going to do this drill a little bit differently or a little bit better.
Yeah.
Jen, you've been here. You were here where obviously you got your second ring here for the first Super Bowl championship, and we were talking about Sam. And Stacy asked me, okay, what should be his approach this year? And my opinion was he should be more confident. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. His voice should be louder. His influence should be greater. Did you see that with Russell after they won their Super Bowl championship?
Well, I think everybody gets a little bit louder voice when you win, right? And when you have that kind of success. And when you come kind of from nowhere, right? That entire team, it was a totally different vibe around that team. You had a lot of guys with chips on their shoulders who were told that they weren't going to do very much in the league, right? Who were doubted. This is a very different team. Yes, I saw lots more guys with voices, but I also think the personality between Russ and Sam, you just can't compare those two. And I don't see Sam doing anything different than he did previously. And, you know, the good news for Sam is he's had, 5 different offensive coordinators in the last 5 years. He knows how to deal with newness. He knows how to study the way that he needs to have the experience level, to coach up the guys around him, to execute at a high level. I mean, his voice is valuable. Whether you will hear that on the outside or not, I don't think so, because that's just not his personality. But inside the building, sure. He is a steadying force.
Speaking of newness, let's talk about that, OC. Brian Fleury, a first-time play caller, obviously spent, 9 seasons with San Francisco, a really diverse background being on the defensive side of things. So I know on paper who Brian Fleury is. In fact, we actually chatted with him for an early interview shortly after he was hired. And it was a basic kind of tell us about yourself. You know, what's your impression of Seattle? What do you know? This is a slightly different Brian Fleury, been here a couple months, been here for an off season. What do you see? What have you learned from him? Have you had a chance to talk with him or hear from him?
I have had very few interactions. He has been very focused and very eyes straight ahead. This is what we're doing. We're kind of moving ahead. Here's what I have noticed most on watching the offense. There is no question as to what's coming up. There's no question as to what we're doing on each play, on each drill. Brian is the overseeing influence. It's not unlike Kubiak, who was never the most vocal in that huddle. But however he has communicated, it has been sharp. It has been quick to the line of scrimmage. It has been sharp execution. You know, Bump, there's sometimes you get an offensive coordinator, if you change the entire system, there are points where you just kind of slow down practice. You halt. You're like, hang on a second. Let's regroup. You know, let's get back together, huddle up again. I haven't seen that. I have seen a lot of decisiveness. I have heard that he is really open to how you're going to do situational football. He wants the data. He wants the input on that. And he just kind of sits back and he watches and he just kind of lets guys make plays. I'm excited. We do need to see him in a preseason game, right? We need to see what the actual function is of play calling, because things are going to speed up. But if you just sit back and watch, you wouldn't have guessed that they changed offensive coordinators, minus the fact I've seen a lot of Brady Russell out there. I've seen a lot of fullbacks. Every time I look up, Brady Russell is in motion. I'm like, what is happening
I figure
here?
A run game coordinator from San Francisco would be like, let's get those fullbacks
Let's get the fullbacks involved. Yeah.
We got more tight ends. Throw them in there, too.
I feel like AD is the next coach to be poached. I feel like when you have this defense and Mike McDonald doing what they're doing, obviously you're going to look at that tree and say, give me that guy. Yeah. Have you seen his role enhance a little bit out here?
I feel like he is being more vocal. Yes. There's always kind of a learning curve, and just kind of his background was so different and so unique. I think AD's real value, and I'm not saying that he's not valuable in practice, it's the stuff that he's doing behind the scenes. It's the one-on-one work. It's coming in early. It's having that time, whether it's on the field or in meetings, helping some of the younger guys that they really see big potential in. Somebody like a Riley Mills, right, where you are getting that extra coaching time. I think that is what's probably going to end up being the bigger impact, because coach is going to have his fingers all over this defense for sure. But and he should be looked at. He has gotten some great experience. You have the top scoring defense in the league, and history shows that you should finish with the pieces you're bringing back in the top 10, and there's a good chance that you would finish in the top 5.
Speaking of AD, I heard someone say he's a good candidate for breakout star or fan favorite on Hard Knocks, which I thought, God, the accent is really high energy,
so great.
really like in your face, not in like this mean way, but like blunt. So is he your prime candidate? Who are some candidates you're going like, I think this guy is just going to get a ton of camera time?
Well, don't you think Derek Hall has a good chance for this?
Yeah.
Like,
That's
I
a good
love
one.
D.
Yeah.
Hall. And, like, I mean, come on. He's got the short shorts.
Yep.
He's full of energy.
Yep.
He and Leo are going to go at it in the best possible way. Like, that, to me, that's one.
That's a good one. I was thinking Spoon, but that felt too obvious. He's the loudest talker.
Right. I would think... I mean, Graves Abel is really funny. I would think A.J. Barner comes up. I mean, that's an easy one, too, right? Like, how do you miss A.J.? And to your point, Stacey, tight ends do seem to be very involved in what's happening. Yeah, they stay involved. They are involved, yeah.
Yeah, tight ends are a special breed.
They
Especially
are.
those tight ends. Yeah, they do a little bit of everything. I think they're a special breed because they're in meeting rooms with the offensive linemen, and then they're also out there with the receivers, because they kind of work together. So they get a little bit of everything. A.J. Barner would be probably my pick just because of his outgoing personality.
Yeah.
But offense.
And his fur coat.
And his fur
And
coat.
his fashion sense,
fashion
yeah, 100%.
He's a tight end. The big question is the run game, right? What is that going to look like? I think for me, that's the biggest concern coming in this year. I think from what I've seen of Price so far, he looks good, but you never really know until you go full contact and you're going down to the ground and everything's live. What have you liked so far out of the run game, and him specifically?
That he doesn't seem overwhelmed by the moment. That he doesn't seem confused. He doesn't seem to be hesitating. I mean, he's had some nice cutbacks in practice. He's had some nice, balls that he's been on the receiving end of. He is really quiet. He is probably not going to be your star of Hard Knocks, but he is consistent in his approach, and he knows what he knows, and he is willing to execute on that one. The run game doesn't just happen in a vacuum, right? I think that there's value for everybody in kind of starting back from square one, right? Because you lose your running back coach partway through last season, so you're kind of like a little bit disjointed. And Zach Charbonnet's not in the mix, but he's still in the room right now. I think that there's value in everybody just kind of level setting, and the consistency on the offensive line, it helps that run game out tremendously. I personally am not that concerned about what that's going to look like. To me, my question about the run game is, what does that play calling breakdown look like, right? How many runs? What are our tendencies on those plays, right? More than can we actually run the ball? I am more curious as to how that looks in the grand scheme of the offensive being.
I'm also curious about how effectively they do that early, because I think because of the final run that they went on in the final third of the season, and obviously with Ken Walker over 300 yards in the postseason, Super Bowl MVP, they did have a lot of rushing attempts on average over the course of the year. I think them and the Eagles led the league. But I feel like in all the analysis, I continually miss people saying that for the first chunk of the season, they weren't running it effectively at all.
Yes.
Because JSN, it didn't matter, but it's just kind of an underrated storyline, and I'm curious to see what it looks like in September.
Right. Exactly. When you might be leaning on that a little bit more as you just kind of settle in. I mean, that just tends to be the case for most teams early on. I agree with you, Stacey. It drives me nuts. And it's recency bias, right?
Sure.
And it's the easy
last thing we remember.
storyline. Yep, it's an easy storyline. But I agree. There was room for the run game to be better last year. And so I actually look at that as the greatest opportunity for improvement over the course of the year. And when you look at the offense, when you say JSN, so I was looking at a whole bunch of numbers, right? We had a top 3 scoring offense. You had the top scoring defense. And now the question is, okay, who's going to regress this year? And the answer is probably everybody. Because to be a top scoring defense, you know the difference between Seattle and Houston last year?
Like point something points.
It was 0.2, which equaled 3 points over the course of the entire season. You allow 3 more points, you're not the top scoring defense. I don't know if you can do that or not. I don't even care if you regress. On offense, JSN, the chance of him having 1,700 yards again is low. But you know what I'll take? I'll take 1,500 yards on the same number of targets that's more efficient. And you know what? That still would have put him third most in the league. So when we start talking about the run game and the opportunity and what they did last year, I don't need anybody to be the superstar. I need everybody to contribute at an efficient level, because when both sides of the ball is humming, that's what that complementary football is. And teams just get behind the 8 ball and they feel the pressure because there is no let up when our defense is on the field and then the offense put points on.
Such a good take.
Yeah, I gave JSN, I said, give me 1,400, and we'll see. And with that 1,300 and 1,400, that means someone else offensively is probably going to step up. But who's that person for you this year?
Ooh, that is interesting. It's interesting because I don't know if that's necessarily a wide receiver, or if you're talking offense in general. I think some of those yards go to the run game like we were just talking about, right? Like I think you spread the ball around to the wide receivers plenty. I would love to see Torrey Horton more involved. Everybody wants to see Rashid Shaheed, right? Like it's really tough to join a team in the middle of the year, because you can't go backwards, right? Like, Bump, you know this, right? I can coach you up to where we are, but I can't go back and install the entire playbook with you. And your football knowledge has to be such that you just jump in the best that you can. I would expect to see a lot more from him. But again, I don't know. Depending on your mix of play calls, some of those yards might actually go in the run game.
Before we let you go, I have a boring reporter question, but we're going to lean into it anyway. Okay, so I need to know what you know about the two biggest injury question marks with this team, Nick Emanwari, Zach Charbonnet. What's the latest? What are we expecting? What's going on?
Yeah, we saw Nick at practice yesterday, so he was watching from the sideline, and you know it kills him to not be out on the field. I did talk to him the other day. He's in good spirits, and what we heard from Coach was he is attacking rehab. You know, I thought it was interesting that Coach said he's in a tough spot, and to me that means you're in a tough spot when you miss training camp, right? When you miss that chance to ramp up with the team and to kind of fit back into what you were doing. And, you know, they've all said it's not something that is going to affect him long term. No timeline on that one, but the fact that he has been out here watching, the fact that he's in the building, the fact that Coach has said, you know, he's making progress doing exactly what he needs to do, I'm going to take that as a good sign. Same thing for Zach Charbonnet. We've seen him out here. I have no idea what it looks like to come back from an ACL injury. I do know that he's been doing, you know, kind of his work. He's got a smile on his face. Yeah. He's been chatting with his teammates. To me, all of those things are good signs, right? Like, you feel like that there's positivity around that and that there's energy. So he'll be a welcome addition when he returns.
She is Seahawks insider Jen Mueller. We're staying in segment, but we're gonna let you get out of here to get ready to watch practice. Thank you for all of your updates, as always. Also, we are kicking off the 2026 Seahawks season with a preseason home opener on August 15th, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch in person. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app to find out how. If you don't already have the app, simply text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily and increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 3rd. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what university is taking over the pass game?
Ohio State University. It's a wrap, man.
Wait, you're telling me Ohio State wide receivers are going to start getting drafted in the first round?
I'm telling you, they all got paid.
Wow.
JSN got paid. Olave just got paid. McLaurin got paid. Garrett Wilson got paid. You know what I'm saying? It was LSU, but now as I shake hands with the great Ben Obomandu, it's Ohio State, man. LSU had Odell Beckham. You got Jamar Chase still. You got Justin Jefferson. I'm saying, but these Ohio State boys, man, they are getting paid. Olave got paid today, like 4 years, $120 million, 90 of that guaranteed. There's a shift going on. I'm sure LSU ain't going anywhere, but the Ohio State University is taking over.
LSU, Ohio State. Who completes the trifecta? It used to be USC.
Bama.
Is it still USC?
Used to be Bama.
Bama.
SC though. SC has.
SC though, it's kind of
it's like every 3 years they got a couple of hitters out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Curtis, who completes the trifecta?
I would say Alabama. SC right now they just have
Bama.
St. Brown.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. USC used to be USC, LSU. What's happening? Then Ohio State obviously is like a massive thing, but I think SC is just not.
They're every now and then.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Second down. What do you love about the messaging at training camp?
You know, they're coming off a Super Bowl championship, and back in the day, used to play Nintendo NES. Never played that, Stacy. I doubt you had a Nintendo NES.
I had the 64 one.
But every now and then, you got to push that reset button. It hurts to push it. All your progress is gone if you didn't write it all down on a piece of paper because you didn't have memory cards back in the day. But you got to press that reset button and start all over. And that's what I feel like they've done here. It's like they've hit the reset button. You're going through the first few levels because you've been there before, and you're speeding through it because you've been here before, right? First 3 levels are easy. We're looking at training camp. Things are flowing right now. And then you get to a point where, okay, you got to slow it down a little bit and get back to your core. That's what it feels like is happening here. The messaging, I saw a clip from Mike McDonald. Hard Knocks put together something, his first meeting, and that's what I felt, that's what I heard, that's what I see out here. And I think that's important. It's easy to kind of show up and say, rinse and repeat, let's do it all again. They're not even talking about MLB no more. I just heard, I think Jay Reed was on with Brock and Salk this morning. He said he had a shirt that said the manager of violence. Like, they're already coming up with new stuff. They hit that reset button, but they understand who they are. They didn't forget who they are, but they understand they got to start all over.
And would you say Nintendo LDS?
NES.
NES. Was that before or after the 64?
That was the very first thing they put out.
The first one. I thought it was Atari.
Atari is a different company.
One, different company. Okay, but then Nintendo LES.
NES.
NES was the first one.
Yep.
When did 64? Was there something else?
64 came out it was Super Nintendo after that.
Oh, okay.
And then 64.
And then
N64 was like late 90s.
Yeah. Okay, N64 is all my childhood memories. Or a circle around the N64. What a console.
What a console. What a time to be alive.
Third down. I lost my spot. Who's been a camp standout for you so far?
That corner Dansby. He's making plays. Where do you go to school, Curtis?
What was that?
Where did Dansby go to school?
Bear Down, Arizona.
There you go. I decided to set my guy up real quick. Yeah, he's been a standout, man. He's always in phase. And in phase means that if it's time to turn and run, I'm turning and running, and I'm on top of the receiver, or I'm even. And when it's time to break on the football, my foot is on the ground and I'm breaking. He's not necessarily making every single play because you can't during training camp, but when it's time to be in a phase, he is in that phase, and he looks smooth and calm while he's doing it, and he's gaining the respect of his teammates. I was just last night, before I went to sleep on the Mariners game, I was just looking through social media and watching every clip from training camp that I could find, every article, every interview, just trying to really get a feel for this group. And Dansby is a guy that people are talking about and that I saw make a couple of plays.
Fourth down. Kate in West Seattle said, Jen is my favorite, absolutely fangirling over her and her fab analysis, getting me stoked for football season. She's amazing. We love Jen. So happy to have her join us. A long conversation there. Anything stand out?
Yeah, two things. She talked about the consistency throughout the building, and I couldn't agree more with her when you talk about how you're greeted when you walk in, whereas the Jeff, the parking guy, our receptionist, what's her name again? Bailey, receptionist at the front.
Sneaky tall.
We found that out yesterday. She's a good 5'10".
Well, because she sits behind the desk all the time. She stood up. We saw her standing. I was like, she could ball.
She's a good 5'10".
Yeah.
At least.
She could fight someone for sure.
You know, and everyone, if you are a representative of the organization, you feel that consistency because everyone's kind of on the same page. The other thing that stood out to me in that conversation was she talked about no offensive questions. And she was absolutely right. When you have a new offense that's being installed, you slow things down. Guys are asking questions where it seems like they're just going. Either they're going, they don't have a lot of questions, or Fleury is allowing them to make their mistakes on the fly, and then we'll correct it when we get inside.
Yep.
Me personally, that's what I like. Make your corrections on the fly. I make your mistakes on the fly. Talk to your coach after you're done with your rep, but we're really going to get down to business when we get into the film room. I love that there are no offensive questions and that they're getting a lot of reps out here.
Can I say something that sounds a little mean and hypercritical, but it's just so hard not to make the comparison because it's the elephant in the room when we're talking about these two teams. It is so hard not to notice the difference in communication and standard specifically with communication. I should focus more on that. When it comes to, like, maybe it's just easier in the NFL. Like, the only way to succeed is to have that. But, like, I just want to see more communication with the Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see more communication and just assertiveness with things.
I think they communicate. I would lean on the assertiveness. It seems a bit too
like a little
lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
You know, there's got to be, I want to see But it's hard to be assertive with guys when they're in the batter's box because you don't know what they're seeing.
It's different.
But it's like
totally different.
Base running and fielding stuff.
Yeah.
And so it makes me like, get on them.
That's exactly what it is. Assertiveness, toughness, tough leadership. It's just like you want to see more of it, and it is horrible to do a cross-sport comparison, but I think that the reason people feel frustrated, and for me it's hard not to just immediately have your mind go there, is they're so talented.
Yeah.
They are. I'm not saying they're the Dodgers with a $400 bajillion payroll, but they are a talented team.
Yeah.
And I really want them to seize this opportunity over the next 52 games here. Timeline coming your way next.
Just 3 days out from the trade deadline.
We honestly don't know yet what direction this is going to go.
This might be that time to once again go for it.
I agree. Now's the time for the Mariners to go out and be aggressive.
Deadline countdown. 3 days.
An additional bat would go a long way.
Yeah, I can see this going down.
Stay plugged in as the Mariners approach the trade deadline with Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
Santana, Oneness Tour 2026. The power, the energy. Come celebrate your favorite hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. With very special guest, the Doobie Brothers. August 6th, White River Amphitheater. On sale now at livenation.com. Santana and Doobie Brothers, Oneness Tour 2026.
We're all looking for ways to add extra income without adding extra hours. How about joining a credit union where your money earns money? Dave Wyman for Harborstone Credit Union. They have a money market special offering strong returns for your hard-earned money. Open yours at harborstone.com/money market and start earning 3.75 annual percentage yield. The best part is you retain full access to your money the entire time. That's harborstone.com, insured by NCUA.
This week at Grit City Harley, buy any pre-owned Harley and get a $1,500 gift card. Finance specialists are on site to get you approved. Get a $1,500 gift card with the purchase of any pre-owned Harley at Grit City Harley now through Sunday. Gift card cannot be used towards the purchase of a new Harley motorcycle.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ way.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
What if you had the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Guaranteed. Well, thanks to Xfinity, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. Now through August 24th, get their best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. You're guaranteed 5 years of super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats and finds and fixes issues before you even notice them. No annual contracts or commitments, no hidden fees, and the best equipment included. Plus, get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber, coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Now, Hard Knocks, starring your Seattle Seahawks, is officially releasing its first episode of the season on August 4th, but we did get a little teaser clip. The first two we're going to play for you right now. Let's start with the first one. I really liked this one. In cut 6, it's Mike McDonald showing his self-deprecating side.
Good to see everybody, man. We're back. Back, cameras. All right, Hard Knocks. The way I'm thinking about it is like this. We talked about it in the spring, but this is a gift from the football gods. Yes. Okay? I'm one of the most awkward guys in the history of America. I used to worry all the time about, well, what are they going to think of me? And no, I don't want to say the wrong thing. And, screw it, okay? It doesn't matter, okay? All I'm worried about is creating the best football team we can possibly create, okay? And I want to make sure that we're us all the time. That's all I care about. It's a gift because it reminds us to be us every time that you kind of stray away. I want the world to see you guys. See what makes you guys you. You know, don't you? How good can we get at what we do? That's camp. It's awesome.
Hard Knocks. I feel like much like his whole thing where we did not care was kind of a moment where he was lost in it and he couldn't hear anything, and he talked about it later with Brock and Salk, and then it turned into a viral thing that just looked cool. I think that's going to be him on Hard Knocks, where he keeps being awkward and it just looks cool. It's pretty authentic. And he wins.
I think being awkward in today's society is the best thing you could do.
Truly.
I think my kids now, right, I have 16, 14, and 12-year-olds, and the awkwardness in their friend group is celebrated, highlighted, accepted, and valued.
Good for them.
So I'm like, my group, I mean, man, when I was growing up, you had to wear certain things, you had to say certain things.
Yeah.
Like, they were based on your race, you had to move a certain way. That's just not how things are right now, and I'm glad that Mike McDonald embraces himself, and he should. Being himself got him to be one of the best coordinators in the game and a Super Bowl champion head coach.
Do you ever see 21 Jump Street?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that a little bit. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill go back to high school, but this time Jonah Hill's super popular because that type of person is just cool now.
Yeah.
Like being like nerdy and smart, and Channing Tatum, this like hot jock guy, is like, what do you mean I'm not popular? What do you mean I'm not cool?
Yeah.
I hate books. And they're like, that's lame, man. That's going to be Mike McDonald just fully embraced for being a nerd. The next clip is cut 7 of rookie safety Bud Clark meeting Richard Sherman for the first time.
Hey, man. I owed you a selfie. Nah, for sure that, man. Let's do it. Yeah. Look, there we go right there. They already own it. Ooh, I feel like a big yeah, boy.
Hey, you better be booking like you was in college.
Nah, I got to, for sure that.
You got to it.
I'm telling you, man, I'm trying to be like you.
Oh, ain't nothing but love.
Man, for sure that, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You have a great one, man. Have a blessed one. I'm talking about. Oh my God. That is just, oh goodness. I had to take a picture of Richard Sherman. I look up to that, man.
I remember interviewing a player in 2015, and I'm not going to say who it is, but he said that he grew up watching, and then it was a player who debuted in 2010, and
I know who you're talking about.
yeah, and I remember thinking like, yeah, I mean, you definitely watched him in college. You didn't grow up watching. Like a little part of my brain was like, that's Cap, but Cap didn't exist at the time. But I felt like he was trying to be very polite. He clearly had an admiration for this guy, had watched him in college, but you did not grow up watching this person. You are 5 years younger than him, well, maybe a little bit more than that. But for Bud Clark, you absolutely, positively grew up watching Richard Sherman in this club, and that moment, that's 100% real.
I like how authentic he was because I could never get myself when I was in the league or when I was younger and met somebody, I could never get myself to be like, oh my God, this is so-and-so.
Did you think it?
And just fanboy out. I would notice, be like, oh, that's so-and-so over there. That's what's up. But I would never, because in my eyes, I'm like, I'm on that level. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
he's a peer.
Sure.
Even though I did literally grow up watching him, I'm like, no, I'm here now. So I'm on that same level.
Maybe if there was a retired guy that showed up, like when you're in the league, for sure, because you're like, well, I got to go opposite him.
Yeah.
But I wonder if a guy was retired, like if you saw a great wide receiver at camp show up shaking hands.
If I saw Jerry, I'm going to go say what's up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, now that you are not playing, what's a player that you did see who was playing at the time that's like as close as you got to being like, dang, that's pretty crazy?
Man, it was my interaction with Brian Urlacher because I'd watched him all through high school and college, and I'm lined up, and I look over, and he's my blocking assignment, and I go, that is Brian Urlacher. And my job is to block him, but I'm just going to get in his way. He ran me over, but I did my job. He didn't make the tackle. I held on just enough so he wouldn't make the tackle.
Who's going to be the star of Hard Knocks? It's a question we've been wondering. Cut 8, here's Sam Darnold being asked the same question.
Honestly, I think the head coach, the head ball coach, Mike, I think he'll shine bright on Hard Knocks just for people to kind of see his personality and his personality come to life. I think is because he's a great guy. Obviously, we know him. We know who he is as our head coach and as a person. And I think for the entire world to see that is going to be really cool.
That's
Mike
dope.
McDonald is a candidate. I like
that.
one.
I mean, because he's got some Gannon in him, but he's cooler than that at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's weird. But I think
I don't think he's going to say who took the bus here.
No.
Who took the bus?
But I think most head coaches who are coordinators have that kind of weirdness about it. Even Kyle Shanahan got some of that in him. You know what I mean? Sean McVay has some of that
Sean
in him.
McVay talks at one volume.
Yeah.
Like, of course he does.
It's part of their genius. You have to be a little different and awkward. If you're like everyone else, then you'll probably get the same results as everyone else.
I saw a great clip of someone pretending to be Sean McVay.
You sent me that. I remember that.
It's so funny because it is. He just yell talks, and no one ever says it. It's so funny. I'm not making fun of him. I think he's like a genius, but it's just everyone has their quirks. Every genius has their quirks.
Yeah, for sure.
An update, next story, to FIFA trying to sell off stakes in order to raise a quick, cool $10 billion. 3 of the biggest soccer federations in the world have all condemned and rejected Gianni Infantino's proposal. Not only that, but his senior advisor, Carlos Cordero, has resigned in protest of his proposal to sell stakes in the World Cup. In a statement, he said, I cannot stand by while FIFA considers selling a stake in the World Cup. Kept it simple. Can one of you two explain to me the moral quandary that other people find with this? Because I have my opinion.
It's like letting private equity in, which, as we know,
my opinion, but
they just tear everything down to the studs and never improve.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly what it is.
private equity is getting into
Just
absolutely everything.
keep the game as pure as possible. I mean, it's already corrupt.
Yep.
You already have some shady stuff going on. This is just saying, I don't care what nobody thinks. We're going to be shady. We're going to be shady right to your face, and you're not going to do anything about it. I'm glad that UEFA, 50 countries or something like that, are taking a stand and saying, if this goes down, we're not participating. And guess what? You don't have any countries in it. You don't have a tournament, Stacy.
Yeah,
and the Asian Soccer Federation. Okay, because I had a question about, I felt like it was something about, hey, this is going to ruin the product. It's just a way, that there is some kind of spoiling of something here, but I couldn't figure out, what Like, what's the real ethical thing that especially people connected with FIFA already are like, absolutely not?
It's the World's Tournament, and as soon as you get private equity involved, it changes the purity of this whole thing. It becomes more of a business. The World Cup, you want to just be a pure tournament. They already got hydration breaks in this thing when it's 80 degrees outside, and these guys are the greatest athletes, are well-conditioned athletes in the world. They're making money there. It's just greed. It's just greed seeping in even more into the game, and we know soccer's already jacked up.
And that sure is something. Isn't that something already affecting youth soccer?
Yeah.
Private equity getting involved. We could talk about that for hours another time. IRG injury report brought to you by IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Brennan Donovan went 1 for 5 in his most recent rehab start with Tacoma. Seahawks rookie Devin Eastern has been activated off the PUP list, so that's good news. Coming up next, we are a few days out from MLB's trade deadline. So rather than have hypotheticals about saying they should add, let's talk about some actual names that might be a fit for Seattle. That's next.
It's back. This afternoon, Wyman and Bob's annual Seafair Blue Angels broadcast extravaganza. So that's what we're calling it? Okie doke. Hear the Blue Angels buzz Wyman and the practice fields at the BMAC. Then seconds later, they blast over Bob and Mariners batting practice at T-Mobile. We're the only radio station with the rights to broadcast live from both. Today at 2, only on Seattle Sports.
Welcome to IRG Sports Injury Update. We're with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and president of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And our guest, Dr. Ron Gregish, board-certified orthopedic surgeon specializing in arthroscopic surgery and sports medicine with Pro Ortho in Kirkland.
Dr. Gregish, thanks again for joining us. Tell us that athlete that just has that chronic hip pain, maybe it's not going away with rest. What could be going on there?
Frequently, those athletes have a hip labral tear as well as something called femoroacetabular impingement or hip impingement. Oh, I could spend hours talking about this, but just in a nutshell, femoroacetabular impingement or FAI occurs when there's extra bone kind of in the front part of the hip, either on the femur side or the hip socket side, that'll rub when the hip goes into deep flexion when you bring the leg up. The reason we think it's so common in athletes is because of those positions that athletes need to get into. NFL linemen, hockey goalies, even basketball players get it. And once you develop the symptoms, it's really hard to get rid of it, oftentimes without surgery, especially as an athlete.
It's a mechanical problem. It's an impingement where you're talking about the ball and socket, but there's something going on mechanically in there, and that's impinging, whether it's a labrum or a bony impingement, and has to be corrected. You do that correction through a scope now, right?
That's right. We can treat that arthroscopically. We shave down the bony impingement problem and repair the labrum to treat it typically.
What's the return to play for most of these athletes?
It's long. Return to play can usually take 9 months to a year, and also return to play only about 75-80% of athletes ever get to the same level they played at before.
The nice thing about it, there's an option today in this scope procedure of these hips. If you want more information regarding hip pain, you can contact Dr. Gregish at proortho.com.
With over 40 neighborhood clinics around Washington, IRG has you covered. Let IRG be your family's physical therapist. Find the location nearest you at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Every summer, homeowners wait too long to find a house painter. All Covered Painting is accepting a limited number of exterior projects this season. Ask about a designer-led complimentary color consultation. Get your free estimate at allcoveredpainting.com. Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event, going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event, going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. Don't miss the Mariners 50-season celebration night, August 8th, presented by Daktronics. Witness the most iconic gathering of Mariners greats in franchise history as the top 50 players are unveiled at T-Mobile Park. Get your tickets at mariners.com.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks in their preseason home opener, Saturday, August 15th.
To enter, open the Seattle Sports app or go to seattlesports.com/win for details.
You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances.
Enter daily from July 28th through August 3rd.
Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win.
That's seattlesports.com/win.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Cascade Machinery and Electric is a multi-generational family-owned and operated industrial equipment expert. They're hiring field service technicians now. They offer competitive pay, great benefits, and a career with a company that values hard work and loyalty. Come join the team known for showing up, working hard, and delivering results for over 100 years. Visit cascade-machinery.com/careers. Again, that's cascade-machinery.com/careers. Don't wait. Apply today.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends this Friday. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
The Mariners season has been so disappointed. I'm understanding that we're still having conversations about whether or not they should deal and like what kind of trades. Is it worth it to get a rental? Should you be looking at guys with club control? So before I introduce this next segment, I need to preface by saying I know the trade deadline for this team is kind of complicated right now. That being said, let's talk about some actual names. If they do add, let's talk about names instead of just saying that they should. I'm going to start with this one, Bump. Marlins, you mentioned earlier, now looking like sellers after a hot start to the season. John Morosi sees one possible fit for Seattle, cut 19.
You talk about this Mariner team. Wouldn't it be amazing to have a bat in there that allows you to put the ball in play more often, catalyze the lineup? The Mariners are missing an action guy. And to be honest, the one point I'll make about this, and I'm glad we're talking about it, I wouldn't say this for every team, but the Mariners are in this very unique position where their window to win is now. The American League, some of the AL teams at least, are down. So, darn it, this is the moment. You're not going to have this pitching this good forever. And if you can find a way to get Otto Lopez, the blessing with him is he's not a free agent after the season is over, so he can help you for next year.
He is good defensively. He can play second and short. He is good with stealing bases. He's got control through 2029, having one of the best years of his career. I mean, this is the bat that you'd be looking for.
Averages 325 on base, is 359, slugging 486, OPS 845. We don't have that player on this team right now. We don't have that player.
OPS over 800. I just think we don't have that player.
We don't have it. I think the last 2 weeks, Young has been going crazy with OPS, I want to say, and Randy. But overall, no, this is, looks good to me. Can I sit and act like I know the player in this profile or whatnot? No, I'll take your word for it. Great defensively. Sounds good. Look at his numbers. Looks even better. Go ahead and get him. Do what you got to do.
John Morosi isn't the only one talking about Otto Lopez. Cut 20. This is Jordan Schusterman on with us.
All-star Otto Lopez. I mean, he is a heck of a player. I would be shocked if they can find the price to move him there. But Heriberto Hernandez is a younger right-handed hitter. And if teams are really desperate for right-handed hitting, especially in the outfield, I mean, there's really not that much to choose from. Lane Thomas is someone in Kansas City who's having a nice season. He's a rental that I'm sure will get moved.
So Yahoo Sports put up, Jordan's outlet, put up some trade packages. There is not one involving the Mariners, but just to kind of get a feel for what a trade package for Lopez would be. Lopez is 28 years old, but again, that club control, a career season, the fact that there are not going to be a lot of sellers, clear sellers, especially sellers with good players, very, very key here. So this is going to be pretty costly. They looked at a top prospect for the Yankees and just lots of farm pieces. Let's see. So the Yankees, a candidate there. They looked at a trade package for the Braves, who are a possible candidate to land him. Also is going to involve some prospects that are going to make you a little uncomfortable. Is there a name that you would say no?
Is there a name that I would say no as far as on our end getting rid of?
Yeah.
Of course, Cade. No, I'm not touching that. Cade's we're gonna see him pretty soon, hopefully. I think Arroyo, I wouldn't touch that either. I'd let him live. Montez is one that I'm a little selfish with, but I think everybody else, unless I miss somebody, I would be okay moving around.
Did you miss Ryan Sloan?
I did miss Sloan. Thank you, sir.
I got you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Right, Curtis?
Curtis, is there a name you'd think it's just simply not worth it to me? And I know all of us can think of names, but there's got to be, what's a name that would make you uncomfortable, but you'd be willing to? That's what I'm asking. There's not a single trade the Mariners could make for this guy that would make everyone totally comfortable. You aren't going to outright win this. So what's a name that makes you a little uncomfortable, but you'd understand?
Las Montez. I think he would be the one I look at in terms of the top prospects that I'd be most okay with losing in a trade deadline. Obviously, it would sting because he's got prodigious power, but strikes out a ton. And that's going to be tough for him to kind of shake as he gets closer and closer to the bigs because pitching is just going to get better and better. I think he needs probably another year at AAA before I feel comfortable bringing him up to the big league level. So I think that would be somebody of the top prospects in the Mariners system that I would be willing to part with.
And it's going to cost one of those guys. I just want to preface that by saying, I know that last year when we were talking about the trade deadline, like, is it going to cost Ryan Sloan to go get Geno Suarez? We had all these hypotheticals, and it didn't end up costing that. Those were actually two, pretty measured trades where you felt pretty decent about what the Mariners ended up giving up. That's not going to be the case this year.
Nah.
This is going to be one of the better guys available.
Hey, if you love her, let her go sometimes. That's what you got to do. And at this point, what's tough is that you're coming off a deflating series. You win the first game. Next two games, you get bopped. Mm-hmm. And you're looking at the Dodgers and saying, we cannot compete with that. No, right now you probably can't compete with it, but you're not going to have to unless you guys meet up in the World Series, which is not looking great right now. I understand that. But you have to take that series with a grain of salt. Who really expected these guys to win a game this year? I thought they were going to get swept.
Yeah.
Honestly, just rosters alone, they're going to get swept. So it's hard not to be realistic about where the Mariners are after this series, but also know that that's a level that not too many teams are at in this league.
I'll say this is the latest on Mason Mueller, another name we've talked about for the Mariners. John Heyman, and I know MLB insiders aren't always right, but this is just the latest. He thinks that it is now unlikely that he gets moved.
Who?
Mason Mueller.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to take so much to get that dude.
Well, and the Padres gave up so much to get him.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing anything this year, but I could see why they'd be like, man, we
gotta ride this one out.
Did so much.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of a follow-up. I know Mason Mueller is another name, if we're talking about names, that people are really looking at for the Mariners, and it is trending towards maybe he doesn't get moved at all, whereas the Marlins are very much trending towards being sellers in a way that the Padres aren't, it sounds like. God, there was another name I wanted to throw out here. Curtis, is there another bat people are looking at that I'm forgetting here? I know a lot of our sound was looking at Otto Lopez. That's kind of what we've been focusing on.
Two of the bats that the Mariners may have been looking at, Spencer Steer in Cincinnati and Casey Schmidt in San Francisco, both got hurt. So I think they're kind of off the board. Elliot Ramos was another name I've seen linked to the Mariners. That's another guy with San Francisco. But, yeah, I mean, the bat market is just super thin right now.
I mean, those guys were right when they said it's going to have to be up to the core. I think that they're going to need just some help, though. They need some help. All right, Abe Lucas joins us next.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob, 2 to 7.
Seahawks out here, Hard Knocks film crew is out here. You kind of have to look for them. They did take up the whole gravel parking lot out there with all their trailers. Oh, did they? Yeah, but I think Mike McDonald, this is right up his alley, right? Like how to ignore it and don't worry about all of that stuff. He's all about that. It's going to be interesting to watch what footage they use, and they're out there recording everything. They got it dialed in. They've done this before.
On Seattle Sports. Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Do you have a special occasion or milestone to commemorate? Come discover Klein Jewelers in charming downtown Edmonds. As a locally owned family jeweler, we combine an impressively large selection with the warm personal service only a hometown jeweler can provide. Whether you're searching for the perfect engagement ring or a beautiful piece of diamond or gemstone jewelry, you'll find plenty to love and no pressure along the way. From life's biggest milestones to those just because moments. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. You're a jeweler for life.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Dave Wyman joined by another Swedish cyberknife patient to offer a glowing endorsement of their prostate cancer treatment. Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish cyberknife treatment for prostate cancer. How did you hear about Swedish cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar-sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the cyberknife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it and I just went, that's it.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
These days, everyday savings add up. Get more for your restaurant, food truck, or big event at Chef Store with warehouse savings on the food and supplies you use most. No membership required. Plus, we're open to the public. Visit Chef Store today.
My goal is what's best for the customer. You know, I truly believe that I won't ever deviate from that.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Meet Matthew Preston.
Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's Renter's Insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Well, it's official. My friends have all switched to Pure Talk because I told them they could save a bunch of money on a super reliable high-speed network with unlimited data. And because they're my friends, they trust me. As for the rest of you, well, Pure Talk understands that even though you might like me, you're not just going to take my word for it, nor should you. For that reason, and for a very limited time, Pure Talk is offering any of their plans for just $15 a month for the first 3 months, including their top-tier unlimited plan that normally sells for $65 a month. Think of it like a test drive, a super simple way to save $150 while you kick the tires on Pure Talk's blazing fast network, and a fine way to see for yourself why I switched from big wireless, along with a few 100,000 of my closest friends. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and be connected to Pure Talk's friendly U.S. customer service team. Again, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and let the savings begin.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners back home for a 9-game stretch at T-Mobile. They open the homestand tonight with a series against the Twins. First pitch at 7:10 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 6 p.m. on Seattle Sports. Bryce Mueller getting the start in this one. Meanwhile, some tough quarterback news for the Falcons out there at practice in Atlanta. Both Michael Penix Jr., who's coming back from a torn ACL, and Tua Tagovailoa have missed practice to start camp. Tua has been dealing with a tight back. He did tell reporters he's not concerned about it, saying, quote, "I think it's just a precaution thing early in camp."
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Bump and I are live from Seahawks training camp at Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Bump signing some autographs. He never signs for me. I think it's really rude. But we're going to be joined shortly by Abe Lucas
nice meeting you.
out at training camp. And
Stacey, how unfamous do you feel in this moment?
So here's the thing.
Because I can tell that
just so that everyone's
no hard knocks.
Yeah, just oh man, this is unreal.
Wow.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Just so everyone knows, the typical setup for any show is analyst is almost always a former player, your second chair. And then me, Bob, Salk, we're hosts. So I think that, look, as a host, you're used to you're not the star. You know what I mean? However, do I try to inject myself into the action? Do I try to become the star? Do I try to take attention away from Bump? Did I move my chair closer to the camera to start the show and then was told by Trevor to move my chair back because I was taking up too much of the shot? Yes, that's a real thing that happened. That actually happened. Do I have a problem with attention-seeking behaviors? Yeah. Yes, I do. And I acknowledge that. This, though, right here, so it's like, in theory, I should be used to this. Mike's used to this. Bob's used to this. You know, it kills me, Curtis. It kills me.
No, I know.
This adorable child. Did you know that kid?
No, he was so polite, too.
He was so sweet. He
So
came up
polite.
with an autograph, a jersey for Bump to autograph. He looks just the sweetest kid. Like, he's got to be like a younger
He
teenager.
was like, "Thank you. Nice meeting you, sir. Have a good day."
He was so polite.
His parents did right.
Should I offer to sign something too? He's walking by again. I can sign anything if you guys want me to. Yeah, Curtis, it's tough. It's tough. How do you deal with it?
How do I deal with it?
You also have a lot of friends that have played, and
Sure.
Bump being one of them.
And I don't think anything of it.
Exactly.
That's fair.
You know what it's like? It's like when I go out with like Sherm. You know what I mean? And I'm just standing there. Or I don't go out with him, but we go to the same places and we're talking and stuff. And just people come up to him and just, but I step back.
That's what I do for you. I support you. I support you. I didn't call you out one time no, I did. I did call you out to start the show. That little kid looked a little worried. I felt bad. We're going to be chatting with Abe Lucas here in a little while. And one thing I look forward to asking him is just kind of what it means to get so many of these guys back. I say so many of these guys. I should say all of these guys back on the offensive line.
Yeah.
One of the most underrated things from last season, improved offensive line play. And one of the most underrated things heading into camp is that same group's coming back.
13 out of 13 are back.
Yeah.
So that's saying something. That means that, one, it's hard to find a good lineman in this world. There's not too many 6'5", 300s walking around this piece.
Abe's going to be one of the biggest people we talk to.
That's why we got a different chair for him. He don't even have the regular chair that we
have.
Yeah,
we did bring out a different
chair.
Switched it out
for
Abe.
For the big boy. And two, it tells you that they like the guys that they have, that they're building something. And what's fun to hear, too, is that Anthony Bradford is having himself a good camp. All right, he has been the highlight of the line, and not for good reasons. Whenever you are highlighted on the offensive line, unless you are Trent Williams being used as a tight end and kicking out the end or something like that, it's not a good thing. But he's had a good camp so far. So the fact that they brought these guys back, they like the group, so that's a positive.
What does it mean for a new offensive coordinator to get so much of this group back, right? Like, just as a spoiler, we're going to have Warren Sharp on the show later. And Warren Sharp going to be stepping into a hostile situation here in Seattle because he expects a regression for the Seahawks. He said that they would be a wild card playoff team. And his single greatest reason, we'll ask him to clarify, but because we saw the cut from the Coward Show, his single biggest reason is that look, I got questions about the offensive coordinator.
I thought you just called it the Coward Show.
The Coward. Cowherd
It's
Show.
full of cowards.
The show of cowards. The Cowardly Show. But do you think maybe an underrated, just because offensive lines are typically no one's talking about them, do you think an underrated benefit for Fleury is that, unlike a lot of Seahawks offensive coordinators we've seen, he's actually dealing with a really solid offensive line? This is one of the better offensive lines Seattle's had.
Yo, the less teaching you have to do, the better. And that's exactly what he's getting with this offensive line. You're still teaching, you're still critiquing, you're still tweaking some things. But just the foundation of things, if you don't have to go all the way to the first page of the install and break it down, and you can start on the 10th page, you are, so to speak, right? There's different ways to do it. But if you can get a head start anywhere, you're going to take it. And with this offensive line, he's getting exactly that.
I saw Abe Lucas talking with a coach, I think, some kind of assistant. The Hard Knocks cameras were following them yesterday. I don't know if that footage ends up making it. Do you think there's a chance Abe becomes the star of Hard Knocks? He's a quiet dude.
He's intense. And I think that intense. Hard Knocks likes that. They like the funny outgoing. They like the underdog, rookie, undrafted trying to make the team. They like the super intense guys as well.
Yeah.
It's just he has to do something to make them look and go, oh, 72. Let's focus on 72 today. And I think if he were to do something to grab their attention, he's not going to give you a lot of sound bites. He's just going to give you a lot of action shots. You know, he's the guy that's going to – the way he moves is what's going to attract you to him because he's not going to say a lot.
Is he the leader on this offensive line?
Him and Cross has to be. I mean, I would say Cross just because he was drafted higher, but I think that Abe is probably – no, Cross has been the most available one out of those two. So, yeah, I would say those two. They've been here the longest, yeah.
Yeah. We have offensive linemen. I think they're going to be a little bit late coming out. Why don't we get to some of our headlines here? Curtis, what do you think? Go into some of our... I know this is live,
that after the break.
Okay.
We've still got a few minutes.
Okay, great. So we'll come back. We'll look at some of our top headlines for the day, and then we'll see if we can pull Abe Lucas out of a meeting. I'll just walk in. Knock on the door. Hey, do you mind if we borrow Abe?
Abe,
take him out here
I know
to talk
this
for
install,
a little bit.
but
hey, so
people want to hear from you.
We're talking about the difficulty of, a new offense and a new offensive coordinator. I'm wondering if I could interrupt that process for just a second there. I'm curious to ask him about Brian Fleury, too. He's just been very much an enigma, or like trying to figure out like what's he going to be, what's he going to do.
I wonder who he spends the most time with. What position
Abe?
group?
Or
no,
Brian?
Fleury, yeah.
Got to be tight ends, right?
Nah, it might be. It's either quarterbacks or O-line. Tight ends, they do their own thing.
But wasn't he a tight end?
Yeah,
coach?
but you're the offensive coordinator. The two most important positions are your O-line and your quarterback.
Yeah,
it's got to be one of those two rooms.
With them.
Got to be
one
of those two.
Quarterback room,
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just think that. I think expectations are lower than fair for this offense. I actually really love Jen Mueller's point earlier, where she was saying people are expecting regression for a team where if you regress to, another 3 points allowed or, 200 yards knocked off JSN's total, you're still one of the top teams.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost unfair. Mm-hmm. It's like saying, like, I bet you can't jump 10 feet in the air. And it's like, okay, but what if you have, like, a record for doing it? And it's just, I'm saying the worst analogy possible, but the point is, to Jen's point, people are probably underrating the offense by just saying they expect regression instead of recognizing that regression still looks pretty good.
Regression looks good, and ignoring exactly what you have coming back as well. I think the focus has been on what's been lost, and you don't ignore that. But at the same time, you can't ignore that all 13 linemen are coming back. All of your starting receivers are coming back. Mm-hmm. Charbonnet will be back eventually. Mm-hmm. Your quarterback, most important position, is coming back. Yeah, there's some things that need to be worked out with some newness, but no one ever talks about what has been retained and what's coming back. That is what is going to keep these guys relevant.
No one also talks, and I understand this part of it, but no one talks about the players we just didn't see a lot of last year.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone mention Torrey Horton on a national podcast. That's not to knock them. I listen to all those podcasts. I think they're really smart people. They have to talk about 32 teams. I have to talk about one NFL team. But I think that there's some names floating under the radar. You've talked about Robbie Oots a ton, and that's not you saying Robbie Oots is going to get 1,000 yards. It's you saying that having a fullback allows you to expand in your run game in a way that this team didn't do for like 8 weeks last year. They spent the first half of the season being pretty bad at running the ball. They tried it. They never gave up. They never gave up. They were one or two in attempts from basically like week 2 on. And I know week 2, I think Ken Walker had 100 yards and then then no one did. And then it's just, they were not rushing effectively.
If there's anything offensively you have to be stubborn with, it's running the dang ball.
And we're going to see if we can get back here with Abe Lucas coming up next.
It's back. This afternoon, Wyman and Bob's annual Seafair Blue Angels broadcast extravaganza. So that's what we're calling it? Okie doke. Hear the Blue Angels buzz Wyman and the practice fields at the VMAC. Then seconds later, they blast over Bob and Mariners batting practice at T-Mobile. We're the only radio station with the rights to broadcast live from both. Today at 2, only on Seattle Sports.
Are you squeezing every last bit out of your summer? Looking for a fun add to your itinerary? I have the perfect trip. It's already planned for you at Silver Reef Casino Resort. Make a whole weekend out of it. Here's what you need to do. You head up Friday. You treat yourself to a delicious dinner at the steakhouse. On your way to dinner, become a free member at Reef Rewards, allowing you discounts on gas, dining, hotel, and the spa. Saturday, get yourself a tea time at Loomis Trails. Man, make sure you get there early, check out the range, and walk the historic clubhouse. It is beautiful. After you're around, enjoy Saturday night dinner at Cantina or the Red River Cafe before live entertainment, and Sunday is for the spa. Relax and recharge with a massage treatment and work out all those knots and kinks and just unwind for a little bit. And before you head home, plan your next trip at Silver Reef Casino. Maybe for Crazy Train, Howie Mandel, or Guns 4 Roses. All you got to do, take the I-5 exit 260, silverreefcasino.com.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like head administrator for a state-of-the-art surgical center.
What can I do for you, Doc? We need to talk about the lights. Ah, the mood lighting, relaxing, right? Much better than those old hospital vibes. A hospital's supposed to have hospital vibes. You seem tense. Let's dim the lights a bit.
This is the job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Daryl's knee problems started years ago.
The initial injury happened back in my high school days. It was more of a nerve damage that was done in the knee.
And eventually, it led to surgery.
They had the knee replacement done on the right knee. The orthopedic surgeon I worked with obviously was ready to do the work on the left knee, and I just didn't feel good about it.
Instead of another replacement, he chose stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. How's your pain now?
On a bad day, 1 or 2.
So you went from an 8 to a 1 or a 2?
It's been great. I can't say the same for the other knee. We're still having challenges.
And when people ask you about surgery?
What I always tell them is that you should first talk to Dr. Wagner. You should look at stem cell as an option before you do the surgery. Because once you do the surgery, the stem cell isn't going to help you. And if he says he can help you, believe him.
Before you choose surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 1, the Mariners' next opponent, the Twins, won Thursday on a walk-off grand slam while trailing 3-0 with 2 outs in the 9th. What's the real headline?
God, it sucks to see someone else living your dream. Let's talk about the Twins. Let's talk about this series and how important it is. I'm going to start by saying this about the Twins. They were not a team that was supposed to be, great this year. We, in fact, didn't take them super seriously in April. I had a joke, calling it Twapril, like a play on Rocktober. Ha, ha, ha. They're the last ones laughing because here I am looking like a fool where this Twapril Twins team is still hot in Twagist and is coming into town to take on the Mariners. And this is a very important series in terms of figuring out that wild card standing, and it's crazy to think on July 31st you've got really important games, but here we are.
Yeah, that is the beautiful thing about sports, is that you can be out of it, especially when you play 162. You can be out of it for a long time, and they can be pointing fingers, laughing. We were talking crap about the White Sox before the season started.
I sure did.
All right, we were there. We were those people. We did that. But you know what? You got to play the game, and things happen. Some teams just go on runs. We've been part of that. We've been a team that just goes on a run and gets hot and finds their way into the playoffs.
I need to issue a public apology to the Twins. I need to issue a public apology to the White Sox. I need to issue a public apology to the Red Sox and those 3 teams right now. And then we'll see what happens after this. Bryce Miller on the mound to start this one. 7:10 p.m. first pitch. Pregame show starts at 6. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Deebo Samuel is signing with the 49ers on a 1-year deal. What's the real headline?
Are we sure Deebo and Mike Evans will hold up playing next to an electrical substation? Does anyone have eyes on their hamstrings, on those quads, making sure that they're
Curtis,
still...
what you say his ham's going to look like?
Going to look like pulled pork.
It's going to look like pulled pork.
That would be the most egregious hammy injury I've ever seen in my life.
Just falling off the bone.
Yeah. Fall off the bone. They were like, look, we just can't do anything for you, dog. It's a wrap.
Just put it between 2 buns, throw some coleslaw.
Let's go.
This it makes sense. I mean, he was gone for a year or 2 years, Deebo? A year?
I think 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year, right? And he had an okay season with the Commanders, I think, but he's not a straight down the field type of receiver. He's not a technician. He's more of an athlete that can run routes, can catch the football, but his run after the catch is what makes him special. Now you're back to an organization that knows exactly how to use you. You got him and Mike Evans, 2 OGs. You got triple OG in Mike Evans, and then OG with Deebo. It's a decent combination. I don't think Mike Evans is going to have too many plays. I think he still have 1,000, but I don't think he's going to average like 25 per 20 plus per catch. But he's still got hands. He still knows how to get open. It's a good combo.
I'm having a hard time figuring out what to expect from San Francisco's offense, not in terms of what they look like, because we kind of know what that looks like, but they have a ton of talent. Christian McCaffrey, Kyle Shanahan, one of the best play callers in the game. They also have really high expectations. Like, that is supposed to obviously be the strength of the team. But I'm not just saying this because of our substation joke. They do have real injury concerns. It is sure looking like Ricky Pearsall is not going to play this year. I know Christian McCaffrey is an unbelievable weapon who shows no signs of slowing down, but he was like the bulk of your pass catching last year too. What does that look like this year? George Kittle, underrated. George Kittle's coming back from injury as well and could be missing some time. So I have some questions. It could end up looking amazing where Mike Evans is your number 1 guy and he has 1,300 yards and we're all, singing his praises, talking about, is he going to have a chance to win it all or whatever. But I just think there's some real concern with that room.
But they're getting healthy, too. Last year, they had the injury bug for sure. And defensively, we know that when they're healthy, they're pretty dang good as well. Fred Warner's coming back from an injury. Kittle is a little long in the tooth. He's getting up there. But well-coached teams always have a chance. And they have their franchise quarterback. Well, they still have a really good running back. If they stay healthy, Niners, they'll be a force.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, FIFA is pushing forward with plans to expand the World Cup to 64 teams, and their hope is to have the new field in place in a couple of weeks by August 14th. What's the real headline?
Just the March Madness approach. That's the biggest thing. It's that and ranch dressing are what FIFA took from having the World Cup here in the U.S. again.
Listen, the more teams, the better for me. I love what Cape Verde was able to do. And I just like more soccer, more games. So if you're adding X amount of teams, you'll probably have to extend the tournament like 2 more weeks. So went for a month, you'll probably go for about 6 to 8 weeks now. And I'm for it. We know who's all going to be there in the end, right? We can narrow it down to 8 teams and say, okay, these 8 teams have a legit chance to win that thing. But there might be 1 or 2 upsets. Cape Verde almost beat Spain and then almost beat Argentina.
I think you said we.
I said we? I said Cape Verde.
You said we almost.
You know why I said that? My uncle's from Cape Verde, so maybe that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, almost got him.
Who wasn't rooting for them?
Everybody named Mama was.
Everyone.
Old boy scored that goal to tie it up against Argentina. He went to the crowd and found his girlfriend. Like, that's how hyped it was out there. No, I like it. The best teams are going to be in the final 8. We know that. But why not let the little homies get a shot at it?
Is there an argument against this? Earlier I asked you guys if there was an argument. I asked you what the ethical argument was about FIFA allowing steaks to be sold in World Cup. This obviously an entirely different thing. Is there any argument against it?
I mean, people might not want to see the little guy get beat 4-0 because it's going to happen.
Well, it's getting a ticket to go is still something that I think most of those teams. I know that's not what you're saying, but
you might see some blowouts. But guess what? We saw a couple blowouts this year too.
Yeah, unfortunately, we sure did. Abe Lucas on his way over right now, gonna join us and talk about what he's seen so far from his new offensive coordinator from yet another year with quarterback Sam Darnold. Just coming out of O-line meeting, so I'm assuming going to tell us literally everything that was talked about in that room.
Everything.
Probably not private at all. Abe, we're happy to have you, man. How's it going? How's camp going so far?
You guys got me?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. It's going. The days are going. I don't know what day it is, but everything's just kind of
Doesn't
melding.
matter.
Yeah, everything's just kind of
It's like you're in
together,
Vegas.
So. Apparently, yeah. So.
How's the off season been? You went to Italy. You've been training hard. I follow your new account that you got set up there. How's the off season?
It was good. It was short. Just kind of was give my body a ample break, I guess, and just tried to get back at it as much as I could. But it was just a lot shorter than normal.
Yeah.
What should we know about Brian Fleury? I don't know anything. We talked to him for like 10 minutes, and it was the basics. Tell us about yourself. Are you and your family happy to come here? So tell us what we might not know about him.
I would just say, obviously, the relationship is going to grow between all of us and Coach Fleury, but he's very calculated. Sees a lot of different things, I think, about the offense, and just kind of like, I don't know if aficionado is the right word, but has a plan of attack, which is great. And it's exciting to see what's going to be happening this year.
Man, 13 out of 13 linemen are all back in that room. I'm sure there's some new additions as well. I've never been on a team where everyone who was there last year came back. Mm-hmm. What does that do for you guys in that room?
It's cool. We all really get along with each other. There's a lot of continuity together. I kind of feel bad for Bo just being the only rook because he gets a lot of the brunt of everything. But, we got a good group of guys, so happy about it.
So tell me what Bo's being subject to here. Is it paying for dinners? Is it carrying pads? Is that still something guys do?
We have a pretty ridiculous fine board. So
what's on the? Tell me one or two fines. What's the funniest one? That's radio friendly, please.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot
radio friendly.
There's
radio
a lot
friendly.
of inappropriate fines. We have fines for media, so if anybody sees me out here getting this recorded, I'll get fined.
Okay. Okay.
We get fines for getting mic'd up. We get fines in the team room if they like before team meeting, we'll have like a picture that says team meeting from practice.
Yeah.
If anybody's in that and you can see their face, that's a fine.
That's funny.
If you get called out in a meeting, like on the alert, and they're telling you
Yeah.
you did a good job.
Look at your boy, man. Look at your boy.
You've already.
Come on. That's Mario Bailey throwing up the W.
I hope he
He's a
tells
Husky.
everyone
Got some
you're
clues
here.
over here.
Yeah.
Oh, man, speaking of mic'd up, we were talking about you before you got here, and I was like, all right, if they were to mic up Abe, I don't think they get a lot of sound bites, but they just get a lot of action going on. Have you been mic'd up? And if you were, if you have been already, are you a talker or are you kind of just a doer?
So I was mic'd up yesterday, actually, at practice. You'll get some sound bites from me. I make a lot of jokes. I make a lot of really inappropriate jokes, so they won't be able to put a lot of those in there. I mainly just do it to mortify like AB next to me. And just try. I just try, and for myself too. But I also like talk to myself quite a bit. So.
Yeah.
You'll see me call myself by my nickname and stuff like that, and just try to just be positive to myself, and that's kind of what you get from me.
Positive? I used to beat myself up. I was not positive at all. I respond to the negativity, I guess.
Right.
If you were mic'd up, they'd be like, "This guy's really mean to him."
Hey, I'd be cursing myself out, but it works. It works.
Abe, speaking of Hard Knocks, if it's not going to be you, who do you think is going to end up being kind of a star? Like, who of your teammates, offense or defense, doesn't matter, including coaches too, where you're like, oh, let me tell you what, this guy's going to find the camera.
A star?
Yeah. He talks a lot, funny, good candidate. You can say yourself.
I doubt it. I think Brady Russell's really weird, so I think people will find him really quirky. Brady's dope, but he's weird. I think any of the DBs probably.
Yeah.
I think
classic candidate.
I think as people get to know guys like Spoon, because Spoon is just electric all the time, and he talks a lot. So yeah, probably a guy like him.
Yeah.
Run game. We were talking about how last year it took a while for the run game to get going, but what I appreciated is that y'all was just stubborn with it. Like, you have to be a constant threat to run the football. Do you feel like it's going to be the same this year?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I can't really predict the future, right? So I just think it's, like I always say, it's a softening process. You know, you just game plan for different opponents and everything, and just keep tapping the rock, so to speak, and eventually, you know, the dam breaks. So
Sam Darnold already, before winning a Super Bowl, seemed like a confident dude that, like, didn't get shaken by a lot. That's my impression from the outside looking in. Obviously, you have a different one. So I'm asking this question knowing he might have already been confident. But what does a Sam Darnold in kind of year 2 with you guys and working together look like to you? Do you sense even more confidence? Does he look sharper? Does he feel different?
He just sticks to his process, sticks to his guns. I mean, probably is more confident. Like, I mean, I can't speak for him, but, you know, having the successes that he's had, not just last year, but over his career, like, I would imagine that he would be more confident. But he trusts his process, you know, and that's the biggest thing, is that you have to trust your own process and what works for you.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I love about you, man, is you're always repping Wazoo everywhere. I saw a picture of you in Italy repping Wazoo. I'm going to ask you a question. I know it's old news, but it's rare that I get to sit and talk with a Coug who's won a Super Bowl championship. Congratulations. Like, what was that like when you knew this game is over, we're champions, let's go get it?
Oh, I have an interesting little viewpoint on this. I mean, it was kind of bittersweet just because, like, you know, you worked your whole life for, like, a moment like this, you know, and you get it, and it's amazing. But it's also, there's the question of, okay, that's it. You know, that was the thing. And then it becomes, like, at least for me, it's like, okay, let's do it again. You know, why not? So, yeah, bittersweet.
Did you get a fine for hitting your head on the light signal during the parade?
No, I did not.
Can you walk us through it play by play? Were you conscious afterwards? Did you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, people made it out to, like, I had to get stitches or something. I didn't.
I'm going to tell you, watching the video, I assumed you would.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
It was very violent.
I mean, they had told us, it's funny, they had told us not to stand up on the seats before we started. And I was like, yeah. Didn't listen.
You said, I won a Super Bowl.
That was like my 3rd or 4th time actually hitting my head during that, because there was like a bunch of trees and other things hanging up, so I kept smacking my head on.
They're like, let one of the tall guys
Legit.
right up on
and
top.
And then somebody finally just got that on video. So that was like the 3rd or 4th time.
Oh, God.
See, if I was standing up, I had no problem. And you get a little height difference over here.
I like ducking under things just to kind of establish myself as the alpha, even though it's feet above me. But it just makes me feel cool.
What's the rookie price like? You know, no more K9. You got a new running back there. No Charbonnet. This is a different kind of group that you're working with this year. What's the price like?
Very quiet. I don't think I've heard him say really much at all. You know, but shows up, puts his head down, runs the rock. I mean, listen, hit the gap. That's it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And run hard, look for contact. That's just kind of my philosophy. But I think he'll be a good player. We'll
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
Speaking of running hard, you guys, the run game really took off in the second half of the season. Like, you guys were really committed to it, which was great. But what felt like it clicked, and what are you hoping you guys can get done a little earlier here?
I don't know if anything like click necessarily. I think it was just process,
work,
you know, and just continuing to tighten up details and just get better. That's all it really was. There's no secret sauce or anything. Yeah.
What's it like? I mean, you grew up here, went to Archbishop, Wazoo. You came here. Is it tough during the off season? Because I'm sure you got families and friends trying to pull you places. What's it like for you trying to manage your time and making sure you're staying on point?
It's pretty easy because I don't have a lot of friends and I don't go outside of my house very much. You know, I mean, I'm pretty private with my personal life, and I like to keep it that way just because, you know, people don't need to know what I'm doing. So it's not too bad, actually.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I assumed you were going to say that. From what I've learned about you over the past few years, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
What are the top 3 homebody kind of activities? As a homebody, I can respect it.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of TV watching.
Yeah, that game a little bit.
Yeah.
I got a new place relatively recently, so house projects are now in the
always
works.
solid.
I've been weeding my yard a lot recently because sticker bushes keep popping up, and it's very.
You a handyman?
I'm not really a handyman, but yeah, I mean, I just kept looking, one turned into another, and then I was out there for like an hour and a half, you know? I was just like, wow, this is home ownership. This sucks.
Hey, I got a house now. I'm downsizing to a townhouse.
Mm-hmm.
So all the maintenance, I'm like, I'm going to save this one for the kids, and then I'm getting a townhouse out there. But you got to try it at least once, you know, see if it's for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you think to, like, get a tractor, just anything cool about having a yard? Because I always thought, like, one of those things you could ride around, the riding tractors.
Right,
you know,
riding
tractors.
lawnmower.
Riding lawnmower.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Thought about it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. They have a video game, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. You seen that one? Yeah.
I've never seen that.
I told you about that.
Oh, you did tell me about it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's like a first person. You go around.
It's like a simulator. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go and you
mow
look at
your
the
lawn
clean
in a video
lines.
game.
Yeah, it feels like a very satisfying. You do it like one time.
Yeah.
Or like this is like a zone out, like you're not paying attention game.
Exactly.
Have you ever been to Seafair? Probably not, huh?
Years ago when I was a kid.
Yeah, I've never been. They've been trying to get me out there, but I'm always here.
It's cool.
Watching y'all do your thing.
Yeah, this is also a good place to be.
Yeah.
Would you go in the Blue Angels?
Yeah. It was a long time ago now. Yeah, probably.
You have gone in it?
Oh no, like in a plane?
No, sorry, in one of the jets.
Oh hell no.
No?
I ain't going up there. Absolutely not. I don't want to hit those G's.
You wouldn't be able to fit in there anyway.
I know. I think you might
Exactly,
actually violate some kind of size requirement, but this is one of those things where people say they're going to do it, and I think that just sounds like a nightmare.
I got invited to do it a couple years ago, and I waited too long to say yes, and they picked somebody else.
You got scared.
I was going to do it, but I just emailed.
You weren't going to do it.
I missed the email. Yeah, I missed
That's exactly what it was. Abe, thanks for taking the time.
No
We're going to let you go. You got a busy day ahead of you. We're going to stay in segment, but we appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll see you out there.
Bro.
See you guys later.
Yes, sir.
I said see you out there like we're going to be at practice, too. I see you out there, man. See where we're doing drills. All right, let's get to NFL headlines. Tony Romo is in hot water with CBS following his arrest for an OWI. I forgot what
it's
OWI.
It's DUI, but just in Wisconsin.
Operating while
Just in
intoxicated. I forgot the.
See the video? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
The network, not the video part, but just the following news. The network announced Romo is on leave from his role at the network until further notice. J.J. Watt has been bumped up to color analyst for the #1 TV crew with play-by-play man Jim Nantz. Romo has 4 years and $72 million left on his CBS deal he signed back in 2020. I can't think that this is not me excusing driving while intoxicated at all. I don't know that this is going to be a long-term thing where you never see him again.
Nah, I think he'll be all right.
I'm guessing this is a brief suspension, but we'll see.
I think he'll be all right. I think he needs to be suspended, obviously. I'm sure there's a code of conduct that he violated. It's not right. Have you seen the video?
Mm-hmm.
It is hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious.
No, it's not.
But it's kind of funny.
What's not funny is drinking and then driving.
No.
What is objectively funny is him doing stretching before his sobriety.
The officer was like,
test.
this is what I need you to do. A, B, C, and D. You understand the instructions? He goes, nah, too many instructions. I'm like, honestly, I kind of feel him in that moment. Like, what? But, yeah, it's unfortunate he went through that. Or that he put himself in that situation.
Yeah, he put himself in the situation.
Yeah, but the video was kind of funny.
Did Jalen Hurts take a shot at A.J. Brown when he was asked about the Eagles' new offense? Cut 14. Take a listen to what Jalen said.
I think that's something that, honestly, it starts from Coach Sirianni and his message and his first words in yesterday's team meeting was about being together and being aligned. And when I was taking notes of it, I just, thought about 100% alignment and zero entitlement. And so as a team, that's what everybody's pushing. I talked to Saquon, and he's talking about just us being disciplined and us going out there and fight for one another and executing. So, that's a bigger picture standpoint. And, I think Coach Sirianni is starting with him, obviously. But we just want to take it a day at a time and being able to onboard everything we're doing and continue to deposit daily.
Honest answer is 100% alignment and zero entitlement, a shot at A.J. Brown.
I think so.
I think so, too.
I think it is. And when he's no longer on your squad, and who knows what their relationship was really like, too. We've heard that it was, it wasn't the smoothest.
Mercurial.
So he's not blatantly saying his name, but he's making it be known this is the way things should be over here, and maybe they're better off without a super talent. You did get Mekhi Lemon, who's going to be a good receiver for you. I think Devontae Smith is a #1 receiver, can play on the outside. The vibes are probably so much better. You ever have that friend that's in your group that jacks things up? And when that person leaves, it's like, oh, my God, we can hang out and be ourselves again and just relax and not have to worry about catering to that person. I think that's what Jalen's feeling.
I also think it's perfectly fine. Like, you can think, oh, well, Jalen didn't get A.J. Brown a lot of opportunities, or Jalen did limit this offense in a way. There was that story that came out from Jeremy Fowler. You can think that and simultaneously think that Jalen is perfectly fair in taking I think, subtle shot at a teammate that clearly wasn't all in. And that's not even controversial. A.J. Brown was very openly and obviously not happy with his time in Philadelphia. No. And I could understand a teammate being like, I didn't like that you made that known. I didn't like that you weren't on board. I think it's totally fair.
He just reinforces the receiver diva.
Yeah, you guys you're not beating the allegations.
I explained to my buddy the other day, I was like, this is why receivers are divas. I'm not excusing it, but I'm just telling you.
It sounds like you're excusing
why.
it.
No, there's always
First
a reason.
you were excusing Tony Romo and his drunk driving.
No,
now
I was
you're
not.
excusing diva
Don't do that to
receivers.
me.
You're
Don't you do that
excusing
to
A.J.
me.
Brown for talking to reporters about his team.
You know what, Stacey?
This is unbelievable behavior.
I thought we were on the same team. All right? Hey, I need 100% alignment and no entitlement here, okay?
100% alignment. Derrick Henry is entering his 11th season at age 32, so how much longer does he have in the league? Cut 15, Derrick Henry says, yeah, it's not something I'm considering right now.
Yeah, I don't try to enter another season thinking about retiring. I have that on my mind. That's not even my mindset. My mindset is how can I get better, be the best team I can be, so we can be the best team we can be. But I haven't thought about retirement at all. I mean, if some days you're gonna feel better than other days, but if that's what you want to do, it's what you're determined to do, and you focused on, you want to be the best at, then you got to overcome it. This game always comes with adversity and moments that are better than others, but I love the game, and once I feel like that love is gone, then I'll hang it up. But I'm just focused on getting better.
Age 32 season with Baltimore this year, and his age 31 season, aka last year. Guess how many yards he had?
1,100.
Nope. 1,595.
Last year?
Last year,
Goodness
1,595. That's rushing yards and 16 touchdowns. Another 150 receiving yards for 16-something.
Yeah, he ain't thinking about retiring. As soon as you start thinking about retirement, you should probably retire. He ain't thinking about it.
I don't think he is either. I also think it's fair. It's totally fair. It's one of those things where it's it's fair as a fan or reporter to wonder, and then also you cannot as a player be thinking about it.
Nah.
Unless it's like a DeMarcus Lawrence where he very openly was like, yeah, I really considered it for a minute, but then I decided against it. Then it's fair game.
Yeah.
To be like, well, why?
Like LeBron should be thinking about retirement every single day.
And he's been open about how he almost retired, even though you don't believe that he was going to walk away for a second.
Heck no.
Nah, I don't. I know you don't believe him. All right. We have coming up at 1, Warren Sharp walking into the Lions' den after saying he thinks the Seahawks are going to be a fringe playoff team in 2026. He's going to answer our questions as to why exactly he thinks that. I want to get back to a bit of what we learned from Jen about the culture here and some really good stuff about Mike McDonald coming up next.
The champs are back.
So great. Weather's awesome. Guys are in good spirits.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports, has your sideline pass every day with Bump and Stacy live from the VMAC from 10 to 2.
We're going to be able to take in practice all week long.
Then Wyman and Bob from 2 o'clock all the way up to Mariners pregame at 6.
Byron Murphy is with us. How are you, man? Putting in the work every day,
The very latest news, insight, and exclusive analysis at seattlesports.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The official language of football is trash talk, late-night group chats, memes, and unbelievable highlight clips. That's why Boost Mobile brings you our new global connection plan, the first plan ever made for WhatsApp. Get unlimited data, talk and text, international roaming, and calls to over 100 countries for just $40 a month.
$40 price includes $5 a month auto pay discount. After 40 gigabytes of premium high-speed data, speeds will be lowered. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit store or boostmobile.com for details.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks in their preseason home opener, Saturday, August 15th.
To enter, open the Seattle Sports app or go to seattlesports.com/win for details.
You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances.
Enter daily from July 28th through August 3rd.
Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win.
That's seattlesports.com/win.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
And Doug.
Hot dog, get your hot dog. Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Go all in at Toyota of Renton with incredible inventory on the 2026 Tundra. Lease the 2026 Tundra SR5 for $479 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Or finance at 2.99% APR for 72 months. Toyota of Renton's fantastic team will set you up with the test drive and walk you through the finance offerings so you can drive that truck home the same day. Visit them in store or online at toyotaofrenton.com. Offers valid through August 3rd, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealer accessories, and a $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Oh, sorry to interrupt, Bump.
You a little occupied during the break?
Were you a little occupied during the break?
You know what, Stacey? Maybe if you had 5 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown in the NFL, you might.
Why don't you tell people what happened during the break, Bump?
Just a kid and their mom came over and signed a helmet.
Yeah. I had my pen ready.
Did you?
Yeah, I was clicking it over here. I was looking at him.
I said, hey, she's back there. And they were like, oh, we're coming back from break. So
no, that's a lie. That is a lie and a half. Bump, that is the 3rd time that you've signed something here.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm feeling really insecure. How dare you? In about 10, 15 minutes, we are going to bring on Warren Sharp. He was on with Jason McIntyre, both filling in for the Colin Cowherd show the other day, and they were kind of giving their outlooks for different teams. And one clip in particular went viral here in Seattle because it was Warren Sharp saying that the Seahawks are probably going to be a fringe playoff team.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a lot of confidence in their running back room, doesn't have confidence in their OC, thinks that there's some, questions about the starters that they've lost in free agency, etc. We're going to ask him about that. We will get to that, we promise. I wanted, though, to preface that interview by saying it's not just Warren. I think a lot of outlets, a lot of people don't have a lot of confidence in the Seahawks to repeat. It's not just because it's hard to do, but I think it's because they don't have stars. And there's no better example of this, Bump, than the Madden ratings. And I want to say this. When Madden does their top 10 offenses or top 10 defenses, they only are taking into account like the points of the players that you have, right? So if you are the Rams and you have 2 99-point players, you're going to have a ton of points. So the Seahawks on the top 10 defensive rankings. Do you want to guess?
Top 10 in no specific order. I'm going to go Rams. I'm going to go Niners. I'm going to go Bills. I'm going to go Ravens. I'm going to go Lions. I'm going
Where
to
do you think the Seahawks would go?
In top 10?
Top 10.
Why, no, they're out the top 10.
No, they're number 10.
Oh, they're 10?
Barely. I mean, they barely
I thought
made
they were
it
like
in
11.
there. I mean, it is close. But the Seahawks, so you're right in a lot of those. Rams, Eagles, Ravens, Broncos, crushing it. Texans, Steelers, Patriots. Lions, I know. Lions, 49ers, Seahawks. Again, this is about star power. That's not actually how defenses work, but hear me out. I think that that's kind of a factor in some of these conversations about the Seahawks. Like, even though no one looks at this Madden ranking and thinks that that's some kind of like football analysis, in a weird way, it's kind of how we sometimes talk about teams. You look at the top 10 linebackers, top 10 defensive ends, top 10 cornerbacks. You're not really finding any Seahawks. Devin Witherspoon was like number 6 or 7, maybe 8 on the corners, but like there's not a lot of Seahawks on these lists.
Nah, there isn't. And because there isn't, that's why we're getting the ratings that we got. And listen, I know Madden's a video game, but Madden is part of American culture. It is deeply ingrained in our culture, especially for football fans. So it's hard because you look at that Madden stuff, and you listen to analysts, and sometimes they're just not overlapping anywhere. In some places they are, but a lot of places they're not. But when you are a fan of the organization, you feel like they should get the proper respect that they deserve.
Yeah.
But I get it. If we're looking at exactly what Madden is, it's points. You got 199 overall on offense. I'm pretty sure Sam Darnold is probably like an 80-something, and he's probably the next best guy. Cooper Kupp's probably in the 80s as well, low 80s.
Yeah.
So the system makes sense, but you never want your team to be perceived in that way at any level.
I don't know a single critic that would think that the Seahawks are the 10th best defense, but I like this as an exercise in this way. I do think a lot of critics would agree the Seahawks don't have a top 10 or certainly a top 5 like edge rusher.
Yeah.
Top 5 interior linebacker. And we might think it here, but like top number 1 corner, there's some people would make the argument, but a lot of other people would point to Surtain, they'd point to Gonzo, they'd point to a bunch of other people. I think you can fairly say the Seahawks don't have a lot of super duper stars.
Super duper stars.
So how did Mike McDonald's defense become so electric? Again, no one on this team was top 5 in pressures. No one on this team was top 5 in sacks. No one on this team was top 5 in really much of anything. What made it work? And that's, by the way, I know that they're all great, but like,
you know why?
It's kind of cool.
It's because Bruce Lee said you must move like water. all together in
Bruce Lee
unison.
said.
Yeah, Bruce Lee said that. And that's exactly what these guys do. I mean, defensively, everyone knows where they're supposed to be. They understand how to have each other's back. When someone's going, where I'm feeling, when we're running a stunt here, what am I doing? They move like water. And I think that's exactly why you're able to get this production out of a defense where no one's individual stats wow you.
I think that I'd like this as just a way to point out maybe the coolest thing about what Mike McDonald's been able to do is, you're right, to get a whole defense just in lockstep.
Yeah.
And everyone's good. They had a ton of Pro Bowlers. They had all pros. But they don't have Myles Garrett. They don't have, I mean, TJ Watt's carrying a lot of weight for, right? Like guys where you're like, yeah, that player's good, but that defense isn't great. This is a defense where, yeah, the players are good. They get respect, but like the defense is elite because all of those guys together kind of create the sum of the parts.
And then the strongest part of your defense is the part that gets the least love, which is that D-line, the interior defensive line, to be specific, right? If you know football, you know Leo, you know Jay Reed, you know Byron. But those aren't the position that fill up the stat sheets, and it's the guys on the edge. It's the guys on the perimeter that get all the love. So because the strongest part of their defense is the most important part, I think that also kind of waters down what people think about them.
Is there anyone in this top 10 that you think, like, this defense is horrible, I can't believe it's in there? And again, I've prefaced this already by saying it's Madden ratings. They're doing an accumulation
We're
of
talking
stats.
offense or defense right now?
Defense, okay,
all right,
ready?
read it to me again, yeah.
Rams, Eagles, Ravens, Broncos, Texans, Steelers, Patriots, Lions, 49ers.
The 49ers were jacked up last year, so I guess they're just assuming everyone's healthy and they're going to perform at a high level.
Doing, yeah.
And then the Steelers. I didn't realize the Steelers was getting love like that defensively.
It's because of the
what move did they make?
Well, no, it's just it'll be like two super duper stars carrying
You got Queen over there. Watt's still over there.
TJ Watt. He's not a 99
Minka's
player.
gone, right? Minka's not there. Minka's with Dolphins right now, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Good for them, though.
Bump's going to go sign more things, and I wish I was kidding. So in the meantime, I got two things to tell you. First, the defending Super Bowl champs aren't celebrating anymore. They're getting back to work. Hard Knocks training camp with the Seattle Seahawks gives you an all-access look as they chase another title. Don't miss the premiere episode Tuesday, August 4th at 6 p.m., streaming only on HBO Max. And 12s, join the official Seattle watch party at Victory Hall at the Box Yard. Enjoy themed drinks, games, and giveaways. Doors open at 5 p.m., an hour before the premiere. All ages are welcome. The second thing I want to tell you is that after saying the Seahawks are going to be a fringe playoff team, Warren Sharp, brave enough, I'll credit him for that, to show his face and hop on with us next.
It's back. This afternoon, Wyman and Bob's annual Seafair Blue Angels broadcast extravaganza. So that's what we're calling it? Okie doke. Hear the Blue Angels buzz Wyman and the practice fields at the VMAC. Then seconds later, they blast over Bob and Mariners batting practice at T-Mobile. We're the only radio station with the rights to broadcast live from both. Today at 2, only on Seattle Sports.
Do you need a new roof? Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and secure $500 off your project this summer. Our technicians build a custom plan to ensure a high-quality roof installation every time. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Our number one thing with them is always like, hey, welcome someone in and assure them that they're in the right place. We're going to take care of them.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish CyberKnife treatment for prostate cancer. What's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnife Prostate.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends this Friday. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Did you know that 4,000 women are diagnosed with breast cancer every year in Washington state? I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda with Northwest Hope and Healing. We provide financial support for breast and gynecologic cancer patients in our community. Join us at Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Som Hotel in Woodinville for an unforgettable afternoon of inspiration. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd at nwhopeandhealing.org. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series to the Dodgers last night 6-2. It was the 7th game in a row Seattle surrendered at least 1 run in the first inning. They come back home tonight for a series against the Twins. A long homestand here with one coming up against the Tigers after this.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Warren Sharp of SharpFootballAnalysis.com joining us right now. Warren, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're good. And you know what? I'm just going to start with this elephant in the room. Warren, respect to you for coming on to defend an opinion that was pretty controversial here in Seattle. It was in an interview with Jason McIntyre on the Colin Cowherd show, and you were previewing a couple different divisions, and you felt like the Seahawks would be more one of those fringe playoff teams. So I have to start here, Warren. Why fringe playoff team? Because that's quite a bit of doubt to me. That implies like 9 wins, maybe 10, as opposed to, hey, I think they might be in second place with 11 wins or 10. Why fringe playoff? That felt like a couple steps down.
Yeah, I think you're right. 10 wins. Look, I know I'm entering enemy territory here, right? All the fans that are listening probably are going to disagree with my opinion, and that's fine. I think this opinion is rooted in what I think the team has lost year over year and just the nature of the NFL in general. If you were to look at the odds right now on the prediction markets futures and say, what do you think the odds are that Seattle misses the playoffs entirely? Most people in Seattle are probably going to say it's like 5 to 10%, like 90% chance they make the playoffs. The true odds right now are more like 67% chance that Seattle makes the playoffs, which means 1 out of every 3 seasons, if it was played over, they would not even make the playoffs. And that's a little bit more in line with where I fall in here. And that's where I'm not suggesting they miss the playoffs. I'm not betting that they miss the playoffs. I'm just throwing out the possibility that they do take a step backwards, as you alluded to. I'll start with Clint Kubiak. And, I know that Clint Kubiak was a one and done in Seattle. He got a head coaching job elsewhere. But the changes that Kubiak made in 2025 were massive, and they had massive implications as well. He dropped this team from the 3rd highest rate of 3 wide receiver sets down to the 5th lowest rate of 3 wide receiver sets. And when they were playing in those 12 personnel groupings, they ranked number 1 in yards per play. Massively different his season than the year before. They upped their play action rate from 5th lowest in 2024 to 8th most in 2025 under Kubiak, and they ranked number 1 in the NFL when utilizing play action, when he called it, when he did the game timing, the situations, the way that he was calling the offense, the best in the NFL. They also used a lot more pre-snap motion. They were 8th lowest rate in 2024, and they were top 6 in yards per play when using pre-snap motion. All of those changes really helped catch opposing defenses off guard last season, and it allowed the Seahawks to vault all the way up to number 3 in yards per play on first downs. That was well below average in 2024. And when they were so efficient on first downs, they were able to jump out to leads, and they jumped out to leads early in games. As you probably remember, this team was number 4 in first quarter points, number 7 in second quarter points. They outscored opponents by 55 points in the first quarter. That was the best margin in the NFL. They were the number 3 highest overall scoring offense last season. They also, because they were getting out to those early leads, thanks to the play calling and strategizing of Kubiak early in games and early in downs, they then were able to run the ball at the highest rate in the NFL. And that was obviously with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. We don't know when Charbonnet's returning. Kenneth Walker obviously is not returning. And on non-Kenneth Walker runs last year, the Seahawks running backs collectively ranked 25th in yards per carry, 25th in explosive run rate, and 28th in stuff rate. So they weren't good when Kenneth Walker wasn't running the football. I know he's not prime Barry Sanders or anything like that. The drop-off's not going to be as significant as it would be in that situation. But you go from a team that was the highest run rate in the NFL with 2 running backs that were able to handle things. Now, neither of those guys is probably starting the season week 1. And you're switching your play caller entirely, who really elevated this offense dramatically. These are some of the changes that have me questioning what the offense is going to bring to the table in terms of consistency and upside in 2026.
Warren, I think all your concerns are legit, and I'm surprised that you didn't mention a name. Usually when people are doubting this organization, it's because of number 14, Sam Darnold, and his tendency to turn the football over the past 2 seasons. Obviously, he's been the winningest quarterback. Why didn't you mention Sam? That was kind of refreshing to hear you not talk about the quarterback with your concerns.
Yeah, look, I know that the Seahawks led the NFL in turnovers, and Sam Darnold led the NFL with 20 turnovers last season, fumbled the ball a lot, threw a bunch of interceptions. The team was able to overcome that. And I just don't know if that is going to occur in 2026, the way that they were able to overcome those takeaways. I think that there are enough other questions beyond Sam Darnold that leave me wondering what the upside is here for this offense. Now, look, I'm not suggesting this team is going to fall down to, the 20th ranked offense or something in the NFL. They still have the same quarterback, same wide receivers, same offensive line. So there is a lot to like about the consistency. And this is one of the main pushbacks I got was, how is a team that brings back 90% of snaps from last season going to regress this much? And I think people mistook what my statement was to a degree. I'm not saying they're going to be a terrible team this year or massively regress. I'm just going to say that they could take a step back. And the same is true on the defensive side of the ball. Look, defensively, I think they probably have one of the most brilliant defensive minds in the NFL. And they have one of or if not the best talent on the defensive side of the football. I know they lost a couple of players on that side of the ball who were starters for them, like Kobe Bryant, Tariq Woolen, Boye Mafe, et cetera. But they still have an extremely talented defense. But I also want to take this into consideration. Look at the healthy quarterbacks that Seattle beat by more than one score last year. If I were to say that and fans are listening right now, they probably are thinking, well, our team went 14-3, probably crushed a lot of quarterbacks. We did a really good job last season overall. Here's the list of quarterbacks that they beat by more than one score. Spencer Rattler, Max Brosmer, Kirk Cousins, Bryce Young, Jacoby Brissett, Aaron Rodgers, and Brock Purdy at the end of the season and then the first week of the playoffs. Like that is not a list of elite, really good quarterbacks. These are some quarterbacks that are bridge quarterbacks or young quarterbacks that aren't very good. And then you've got Brock Purdy in the mix as well. So this defense still has a lot to prove. I love their scheme. I love their coaching staff, and I love their personnel. The one thing that you have faith in on the defense beyond the personnel is that the coach, he knows how to call plays, he knows how to devise scheme, and he knows how to make in-game adjustments. Those are elite things to have for a coach. That's what we don't know about your offensive coordinator, right? We don't know his ability to game plan offense. We don't know his ability to call plays, to sequence plays. We don't know his ability to make in-game adjustments. So these are just question marks because we haven't seen him do it before. He could be just as good as Clint Kubiak. Yeah, absolutely. And then the Seahawks fall into that bucket where 67% of the time they do make the postseason and they are contending for the number one seed in the NFC West. But there is a world where he's not quite as good as Kubiak in those categories. Without the running back, they take some steps back. And this team is in the wild card hunt, and they're battling, but they aren't winning the NFC West. And they're having to go on a little run late in the season to ensure they make the playoffs.
I guess, Warren, what some people would probably be thinking now is that while the Seahawks beat quarterbacks like Bryce Young or Kirk Cousins or Brock Purdy or Mac Jones, the Rams lost to those quarterbacks. And so I think that there are people that probably go, well, look, I mean, losing an OC is a pretty big deal. But it's while the Rams added personnel, they don't have Jared Verse anymore. It's not like they added Myles Garrett in addition to Jared Verse. I totally get looking at the Rams personnel and having confidence in that. Like, I am not stupid. I understand that these are elite football players and probably one of the best modern rosters we've seen. But I just think that there's a knock being given to a Seahawks defense for playing a schedule that was right in front of them in a really dominant fashion when the Rams lost to a lot of those same quarterbacks.
No, you're not wrong to say the Rams don't have their issues as well, 100%. Like, I know the Rams are sort of right now being bet as the number one most likely team to win the Super Bowl this year. And I don't know if that, bothers the Seahawks players or the Seahawks fans in terms of like, hey, we won it last year. we should be the favorites to win it again this year. Those games versus the Rams have been elite. I tweeted out, I think 2 nights ago, the best rivalry in football going over the last couple of seasons, especially. Every single game's been decided by 6 points or less. Multiple games have gone into overtime. I think the final score is you guys have 2 points more than the Rams do in the course of like 5 meetings over the last 2 years when you sum up all the scores. It's pretty ridiculous. So, but I think both you and the Rams are just viewed in the landscape right now as like incapable of really being beat. Like a lot of people are just so bullish on your ceiling and your upside. And I don't disagree that you guys are 2 of the best, teams in the NFL right now. I just think that there's a world where things might not go exactly as positively as they went last year. And as we're talking about some of those quarterbacks and, the Rams struggled with some of those guys as well, I do just want to throw out that right now, my current projections are that the Seahawks are going to play the number 1 toughest schedule of opposing offenses this year. So you guys are going to be taking a step up in terms of, I was listening out the Brosmer and the Kirk Cousins and the Bryce Youngs and the Spencer Rattlers and those types of quarterbacks. I now have you slated in 2026 to play the toughest schedule of opposing offenses, the number 3 toughest schedule of opposing quarterbacks. Strength of schedule isn't a perfect metric. It's just a good estimation. It's kind of guide rails in terms of get you going in the right direction. So you may not finish playing the number 1 toughest schedule once all is said and done, but it is on paper a more difficult schedule for your defense to have to deal with in 2026.
Yeah, I'm looking at the schedule right now. I mean, you got to play Justin, obviously Brock, Bo Nix. You got Mahomes, Caleb Williams, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford twice. I would agree 100% when you look at the quarterbacks on the other side. When you look at this defense, right, you lose some pieces, Boye Mafe, Reek Woolen, Kobe Bryant. And you look at the pieces that they've added, whether it be draft or via free agency. You got Dante Fowler, Julian Neal, who's a little banged up right now, Bud Clark. Do you see where do you think this defense can and will improve, and where do you think that they could take a step back?
Yeah, look, I think you guys finished, obviously, as the number 1 best defense in the NFL in EPA per play. You finished number 2 in yards per play, number 3 in success rate. What I loved so much about how you guys played football last year on that side of the ball is you were able to record a ton of pressure, the 6th best pressure rate, getting the quarterback on 40% of blitzes while recording the 11th lowest blitz rate. It goes against conventional wisdom, how you guys were able to generate pressure. Most conventional wisdom says you need to send extra rushers to do that. You guys didn't need to do that. You guys were able to slow down the run a little bit without having to stack the box. These are things that are very difficult from a coaching perspective to get a defense to do, which is why I love the floor that I think you guys have defensively because of your coach. The question just becomes, I think the biggest concern, I guess, if you were to tell me or ask me specifically where could we struggle? If you don't have Kobe Bryant, you don't have Tariq Woolen, that's 2 starters in the secondary, you lose an edge rusher, and now you're going up against the number 1 toughest schedule of opposing offenses, the number 3 toughest schedule of opposing quarterbacks. I would say that it's dealing with the pass defense, because anytime you have a solid offense that scores points, if your offense is able to kind of keep that going, I don't think you're going to be able to score points in the first quarter of games like you were last season. And so you're going to be in closer games throughout. But these opposing quarterbacks, if they're trailing on the scoreboard, they're going to need to throw the football, and then they're going to be throwing it against the secondary and a potential pass rush. It's not quite as good as it was last season from a personnel perspective. Now, can scheme and coaching overcome some of that? Absolutely. Some of it can overcome. Will it overcome all of it? That remains to be determined. And, I think that even if you look at, I'm looking at your schedule right now, and I'm counting out 8 games that you're playing against offenses from a efficiency perspective that ranked top 9 in the NFL last year. 8 games versus top 9 offenses. Then you throw in games where you've got Justin Herbert with a new offensive coordinator in week 4, they should be better than they were last year. Jaden Daniels in week 3, he was injured all of last season, only played 2 games with Terry McLaurin all season. That offense could be better. The Philadelphia Eagles in week 15 have a new offensive coordinator, and I think that that's going to make one of the biggest changes in the league from a positive perspective. I just thought the offensive coordinator last year in Philadelphia was terrible. I think they're implementing more of the Kyle Shanahan style of offense there with their new OC coming in from Minnesota. I think that offense is going to be different and better in Philadelphia, and that was a team that was outside. They ranked 21st in offensive efficiency last year. And then you even look at the Denver Broncos, who no longer have Sean Payton calling plays. They have a new offensive coordinator. They should be a little bit more aggressive, using more under center play action and pre-snap disguise. So there's just a lot of changes, even for the teams that didn't have great offenses last year that could get better, that are on your schedule this year.
One more for you, Warren, and then we'll let you go. Thanks for staying a little late. And thank you. A lot of respect, again, for hopping on a station where you know it's a hostile environment. So thank you again for your time. My last one is just kind of a clarifying thing. And it's going back to your first point, which I think is fair, concern about a new offensive coordinator. And you mentioned the great trends that they saw under Kubiak, use of 12 personnel and the efficiency there, especially on first down with explosive plays too, increase in play action, increase in pre-snap motion. These are things that heading into this season, just frankly, I just assumed that Mike Macdonald would absorb and keep. And I guess maybe I just assumed that Brian Fleury, being from Shanahan's system as well, would adopt a lot of that too. So is your question then whether or not that they'll try to do those things, but whether Fleury has the same feel or smarts for it?
Exactly, 100%. I think that Fleury, there's no reason to change what was working for you guys last season. You might not be able to run the ball quite as often if you don't have leads early in games like you did last year. But from a offensive design, like, look, this worked for Sam Darnold last year. I know they had too many interceptions and fumbles, and then they fixed a couple of things. But, like, will Fleury be able to design the offense and call the offense, especially once defenses might adjust to some of the things that he's doing? How effective is he going to be on a season-long basis and a week-to-week basis, especially once it's week 7, 8, 9, and defenses have seen what he's done over the first few weeks of the season? I know the tree that he comes from is well respected, and I certainly respect it. We just haven't seen it in practice. So I do think he could exceed expectations of mine and be as good, if not better, than Clint Kubiak. Again, there's a world of possibility where that exists. I just don't believe that that's the most likely outcome here. I think that there could be a few rougher spots with him as the offensive coordinator than we saw last year with Clint Kubiak. And so how do they make adjustments at that point in time is the real question here.
He is Warren Sharp, at Warren Sharp on social media. You can check out more at sharpfootballanalysis.com. Thanks, Warren. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Warren.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one. We're kicking off the 2026 Seahawks season with the preseason home opener on August 15th, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch in person. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app to find out how. If you don't already have the app, text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776, and we'll send you a link to download. Enter daily to increase your chances to win. This contest runs through Monday, August 3rd. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what university is taking over the pass game?
Ohio State University. It's a wrap, man.
Wait, you're telling me Ohio State wide receivers are going to start getting drafted in the first round?
I'm telling you, they all got paid.
Wow.
JSN got paid. Olave just got paid. McLaurin got paid. Garrett Wilson got paid. You know what I'm saying? It was LSU, but now as I shake hands with the great Ben Obomanu, it's Ohio State, man. LSU had Odell Beckham. You got Jamar Chase still. You got Justin Jefferson. I'm saying, but these Ohio State boys, man, they are getting paid. Olave got paid today, like 4 years, $120 million, 90 of that guaranteed. There's a shift going on. I'm sure LSU ain't going anywhere, but the Ohio State University is taking over.
LSU, Ohio State. Who completes the trifecta? It used to be USC.
Bama.
Is it still USC?
It used to be Bama.
Bama.
SC though. SC has.
SC though, it's kind of
it's like every 3 years they got a couple of hitters out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Curtis, who completes the trifecta?
I would say Alabama. SC right now, they just have
Bama.
St. Brown.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. USC used to be USC, LSU, what's happening, then Ohio State obviously is like a massive thing, but I think SC is just not.
They're every now and then.
Yeah.
Every now and then.
Second down. What do you love about the messaging at training camp?
You know, they're coming off a Super Bowl championship. And back in the day, I used to play Nintendo NES. Never played that, Stacy. I doubt you had a Nintendo NES.
I had the 64 one.
But every now and then, you got to push that reset button. It hurts to push it. All your progress is gone if you didn't write it all down on a piece of paper because you didn't have memory cards back in the day. But you got to press that reset button and start all over. And that's what I feel like they've done here. It's like they've hit the reset button. You're going through the first few levels because you've been there before, and you're speeding through it because you've been here before, right? First 3 levels are easy. We're looking at training camp. Things are flowing right now. Mm-hmm. And then you get to a point where, okay, you got to slow it down a little bit and get back to your core. That's what it feels like is happening here. The messaging, I saw a clip from Mike McDonald. Hard Knocks put together something, his first meeting, and that's what I felt, that's what I heard, that's what I see out here. And I think that's important. It's easy to kind of show up and say, rinse and repeat, let's do it all again. Yeah. They're not even talking about MLB no more. I just heard, I think Jay Reed was on with Brock and Salk this morning. He said he had a shirt that said the manager of violence. Like, they're already coming up with new stuff. They hit that reset button, but they understand who they are. They didn't forget who they are, but they understand they got to start all over.
And would you say Nintendo LDS?
NES.
NES.
Uh-huh.
Was that before or after the 64?
That was the very first thing they put out.
The first one. I thought it was Atari.
Atari is a different company.
Different company. Okay, but then Nintendo LES.
NES.
NES was the first one.
Yeah.
When did 64? Was there something else?
64 came out it was Super Nintendo after that.
Oh, okay.
And then 64.
And then
N64 was like late 90s.
Yeah. Okay, N64 is all my childhood memories. Or circle around the N64. What a console.
What a console. What a time to be alive.
Third down. I lost my spot. Who's been a camp standout for you so far?
That corner Dansby. He's making plays. Where do you go to school, Curtis?
What was that?
Where did Dansby go to school?
Bear Down, Arizona.
There you go. I decided to set my guy up real quick. Yeah, he's been a standout, man. He's always in phase. And in phase means that if it's time to turn and run, I'm turning and running, and I'm on top of the receiver, or I'm even. And when it's time to break on the football, my foot is on the ground and I'm breaking. He's not necessarily making every single play because you can't during training camp, but when it's time to be in a phase, he is in that phase, and he looks smooth and calm while he's doing it, and he's gaining the respect of his teammates. I was just last night, before I went to sleep on the Mariners game, I was just looking through social media and watching every clip from training camp that I could find, every article, every interview, just trying to really get a feel for this group. And Dansby is a guy that people are talking about and that I saw make a couple of plays.
Fourth down. Kate in West Seattle said, Jen is my favorite, absolutely fangirling over her and her fab analysis, getting me stoked for football season. She's amazing. We love Jen. So happy to have her join us. A long conversation there. Anything stand out?
Yeah, 2 things. She talked about the consistency throughout the building, and I couldn't agree more with her when you talk about how you're greeted when you walk in, whereas Jeff, the parking guy, our receptionist, what's her name again? Bailey, receptionist at the front.
Sneaky tall.
We found that out yesterday. She's a good 5'10".
Well, because she sits behind the desk all the time. She stood up. We saw her standing. I was like, she could ball.
She's a good 5'10".
Yeah.
At least.
She could fight someone for sure.
You know, and everyone, if you are a representative of the organization, you feel that consistency because everyone's kind of on the same page. The other thing that stood out to me in that conversation was she talked about no offensive questions. And she was absolutely right. When you have a new offense that's being installed, you slow things down. Guys are asking questions where it seems like they're just going. Either they're going, they don't have a lot of questions, or Fleury is allowing them to make their mistakes on the fly, and then we'll correct it when we get inside.
Yep.
Me personally, that's what I like. Make your corrections on the fly. I make your mistakes on the fly. Talk to your coach after you're done with your rep, but we're really going to get down to business when we get into the film room. I love that there are no offensive questions and that they're getting a lot of reps out here.
What's sticking with us? Coming your way next.
It's back. This afternoon, Wyman and Bob's annual Seafair Blue Angels broadcast extravaganza. So that's what we're calling it? Okie doke. Hear the Blue Angels buzz Wyman and the practice fields at the BMAC. Then seconds later, they blast over Bob and Mariners batting practice at T-Mobile. We're the only radio station with the rights to broadcast live from both. Today at 2, only on Seattle Sports.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
Law Tigers was born from a passion for the open road. Over 25 years ago, they saw a community that has each other's backs. Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I've been riding for quite a while now, and I tell you, it's nice to know these guys are in my corner if I ever need them. Law Tigers was built by riders for riders, protecting what matters most, your freedom, your family, and the ride. They're here 24/7, 365 days a year because riders deserve real support whenever they need it. Your case evaluation is always free, and there are no fees until your case settles. They're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced because they know how much those things mean to you. So if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Again, that's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Because every ride you take, your freedom could be on the line. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Seattle Sports has your chance to win 2 tickets to see Santana and the Doobie Brothers at White River Amphitheater August 6th. Head to seattlesports.com/win to enter and see contest rules. That's seattlesports.com/win for your chance to win.
A luxury ranch estate that overlooks its own lake? The Stillwater Ranch blends refined living, recreation, and income-producing land just minutes from Spokane. Explore this ranch and more at fayranches.com.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Pacific Power Batteries understands batteries for golfers, batteries for your car, your golf cart, and your Bags electric cart. We also sell good, used, 5-year-old E-Z-Go and Yamaha golf carts with a written satisfaction guarantee starting as low as $17.99. Located in Everett, Marysville, Mount Vernon, Bellingham, Monroe, and Wenatchee, you'll find our staff is well-trained in batteries and the latest charging technology. Pacific Power Batteries, with batteries for golfers.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends this Friday. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
We all know a cancer diagnosis is physically and emotionally draining, but it can be financially draining too. That's why Northwest Hope and Healing is here to help. I'm Dr. Suzette Miranda, a plastic surgeon who is proud to be part of Northwest Hope and Healing's mission. We provide a lifeline for breast and gynecologic cancer patients. We cover essentials like food, utilities, and childcare so patients can focus on healing. Since the year 2000, we have distributed over $3 million in direct financial assistance to thousands of local cancer patients. And you can make a direct impact. Mark your calendar for Life in Color, a summer brunch, auction, and fashion show on August 23rd at the Somme Hotel and Spa in Woodinville. It's an unforgettable afternoon of hope and inspiration, celebrating local cancer survivors. Get your tickets now for Life in Color on August 23rd. Go to nwhopeandhealing.org to learn more. That's nwhopeandhealing.org.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, we are live from Seahawks training camp at Virginia Mason Athletic Center, where the pads are on and practice has begun. The music is blasting. Beautiful day. A little bit of a breeze, too, which I appreciate.
Beautiful day.
Beautiful day. Beautiful day out here at practice. While we will be watching practice and taking in camp, looking ahead to the Seahawks season, it is a Friday. And what we like to do on Fridays is take a look back at the biggest things we've learned over the week, our favorite interviews, the things that we're still thinking about, sometimes days after talking to that guest. And these are also including interviews from other shows. So it's time for What's Sticking With Us. This, I'm starting with our interview with AJ Przinsky. This was my personal favorite interview from the week. I love talking to Jen earlier. That was probably one of them. And then this one from AJ Przinsky. And what I loved about it was that the biggest issue with the Mariners, they can't hit a fastball, but he talked about the mentality, the responsibility of a manager. So we're going to listen to two cuts here. First, let's start with cut 23.
People always say, you know, a team is flat. Well, a team always looks flat when they don't hit. You know why? Because there's no energy in the stadium. There's no energy in the crowd. There's no energy in the dugout. If you start hitting, guess what? Guys will literally think they can run through a wall as a team. But when you're not hitting and you're not scoring runs, it ain't very fun. And it's not very fun to watch either. So everyone's like, this team's dead. It's the manager's fault. I mean, they fired the third hitting coach the other day. Like, was it the third hitting coach's fault that these guys are having a bad year? Bobby Magianos? Absolutely not. It wasn't his fault.
I was thinking about that cut, so it's good we're playing it. Watching the dugout last night, the clip that was circulating. I mean, it was live, but then there's been a viral clip circulating of just these guys looking absolutely dejected. Julio's sitting there holding a bat up, his face in the shadow of his batting helmet. Cal is hanging over the railing looking sad. You've got JP. Naylor looks like he's close to tears. I'm not saying he is, but that's how depressed they look. They look like they got eliminated from Game 7 of the ALCS again. Instead, it was a July 30th loss to the Dodgers. And you shouldn't be feeling this way, but Bumpy's right. When you're not hitting, when nothing's going your way and you're playing poorly, more importantly, there's no way to fake that. You can't get the energy up.
No, they look like the way I did when my mom told me to take the chicken out the freezer before she gets home, and I didn't.
And
I knew it wasn't going to thaw out in time.
Like
and I sit there and I'm just like, oh, man, she's really going to get me this time. That's the way.
Really going to beat me this time.
That's the way they look, man. And you know what? They should look like that. What if they're playing as poorly as they are, and you still see guys smiling and laughing?
Right, they'd be criticized more.
You'd be like, hold on, do you even care? Do you take this seriously? So it's unfortunate that we saw that, but I think it's important at the same time because they're feeling what everyone else is feeling. You're feeling like we're not good enough. We just don't have the guys. I don't think they don't feel they don't have the guys. I just think they feel that they're not playing good enough in the moment.
I was going to say, what I saw some people saying, well, this right here is actually a sign of Dan's leadership. This is a team that needs leadership, that needs someone to step in, that needs some kind of guidance, that needs something here. Do you agree?
I think the leadership needs to change somehow because the players aren't changing their approach. They're not finding a way to tap into something to get them to play at a higher level. Something about the communication and the approach needs to change. What is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
And who do you look at? Of course, you're going to look at Dan. Obviously, something needs to change, right? Mm-hmm. If we were to sit here and be like, no, they're fine, they'll figure it out, we'd be ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like, what is insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result? That'd be crazy. So something does need to change. Maybe someone needs to speak out a little more or a little less. I don't know. But there needs to be a shakeup of some sort as soon as possible.
In cut 24, A.J. Brzezinski doesn't feel that it's a lack of trying from the Mariners' bats. In fact, he thinks they might be pressing a little too hard.
It's guys want to do more, and they want to be better because they want the fans to experience a World Series. They want to get to the World Series. They think that, oh, man, if I can just carry this team for a few days. And it doesn't work like that. And that's kind of the Cal thing is he wants to carry the team. Julio wants to carry the team. Naylor wants to carry the team. And then you get a little bit behind in your numbers and you think, oh, I gotta get 4 hits today. I gotta get 5 hits today. I've been there. Trust me. I've struggled. I've had rough goes of it. It is not easy to get it out of your head. But the biggest thing to me is you just got to look at it and say, all right, today's a new day, one at bat at a time. Again, easier said than done. One game at a time. We got to win today.
This is one of the most fascinating things I've seen from afar. I will say I don't think a lot of these players are fully healthy. Julio clearly isn't great. Cal probably isn't great. Grade 1 oblique isn't healing in, 3 weeks that include baseball activities. Naylor looks in pain. JP might go on the IL. They're not a healthy team right now, and all of that's factoring into it, too. It's not like the guys suddenly became bad outside of those injuries. However, the injuries are not the only thing. And I think it's so clear that there's some mental stuff going on here. And maybe because that's, quote, easier to change than an injury, I wonder if they can get a little bit better. But I don't know, Bump, does it take winning? Does it take doing it? To me, the most fascinating thing that I've never experienced because I've never been a professional athlete is how you fight that mental and emotional battle. It's the most underrated thing about sports when you feel like you are just the worst person in the world and you've sunk your team and your team's going nowhere and everything you fought for is failing. You have 52 games left to play.
There are 2 scenarios in sports where I feel like the athlete needs to be selfish and just think about them. That's when your team is losing and you're contributing to it. Now you got to focus on you. What can I do? You got to be selfish, right? I need to work on me. I can't focus on nobody else. I got to focus on me and what I can do to help this team. The other is when the team is balling and you're playing like crap. It's the same thing. I got to focus on me because if you can focus on yourself and what you need to be successful, then you start contributing. If you're losing, then it can be contagious. If you're winning, then you can be that extra push to get these guys going. So at this point, if I'm anybody on this baseball club, I'm looking at myself and being like, I got to focus on me. I can't rely on Dan. I can't rely on Cal. I can't rely on the arms. Mm-hmm. I got to focus on me and figure out what I can do.
All right, let's jump to the Seahawks here. We spoke with DeMarcus Lawrence earlier this week, and he really did consider retiring. So in cut 25, we asked him, why didn't you?
I was very close. Went through a long offseason of, going back and forth. Am I going to retire? Am I not? I think the one thing that helped me steady is it's easy to take over a kingdom. But the hard part is when you got the kingdom and now it's time to defend it. Are you going to, sit back and eat the fruits of your labor, or are you going to, start preparing and building up your walls and, making sure everything is structurally prepared to defend it?
So it's easy. I don't know that it's easy to take over a kingdom and make it your own. But I thought it was kind of cool reasoning that, there's an entirely new challenge here. And there are, 20-something odd teams that have won a Super Bowl. There are 8 that have done it more than once.
Yeah.
Or back-to-back, excuse me.
It's,
and only 3 in the last 25 years.
It's tough, man. Two. It's tough. It's a reset journey, right? It's a journey that at the end of the year, almost fell. At the end of the year, whether you've won the championship, you lost the championship, you were a good team, you're a bad team, you got to reset and figure it out. And then there's a moment in the middle of the year, either you're having a bunch of success or not. You got to find a way to either recalibrate and get that extra push, or just stay hungry and stay in it. So it's the lovely world of sports. I love it.
You can listen to the rest of our interviews on the Bump and Stacy podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Also, get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Any question, text it now, 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know coming your way next.
It's back. This afternoon, Wyman and Bob's annual Seafair Blue Angels broadcast extravaganza. So that's what we're calling it? Okie doke. Hear the Blue Angels buzz Wyman and the practice fields at the BMAC. Then seconds later, they blast over Bob and Mariners batting practice at T-Mobile. We're the only radio station with the right stuff broadcast live from both. Today at 2, only on Seattle Sports.
Your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing love telling you no. No high-pressure sales pitches. No Band-Aid fixes that will fail come wintertime. No outrageous pricing from some corporate-owned roofing company with headquarters thousands of miles from here. 3 Tree Roofing is local, family-owned, and their team will build you a worry-free plan for your roof replacement, completely free. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free estimate and call today to say yes to an additional $500 discount. That's 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawks Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
You know the feeling. That rush when you reach that goal. Make somebody brag a little back home. That's success. And at University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why UMGC offers an accredited skills-based education that helps move your career forward. We'll teach you how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science, plus build your skills in leadership, communication, and critical thinking. Explore more than 100 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, healthcare, and more. With affordable and online programs, you can unlock new opportunities to help you succeed again. At UMGC, success is yours for the taking and the making, and nothing should keep you from it, especially not an application fee. Apply now and we'll waive your application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks in their preseason home opener, Saturday, August 15th.
To enter, open the Seattle Sports app or go to seattlesports.com/win for details.
You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances.
Enter daily from July 28th through August 3rd.
Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win.
That's seattlesports.com/win.
The champs are back.
Really excited to get going.
Nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of your Super Bowl champions, Seattle Sports.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has more ways than ever to achieve total wellness at home. Immerse yourself in a saltwater hot spring spa and let jets melt stress away. Enjoy a refreshing swim in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to healing warmth and detox in a Tilo sauna. Then awaken mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Current specials with exciting savings at olympichottub.com. Better you, better life.
50 legends. One unforgettable night. Join the Mariners at T-Mobile Park on Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night presented by Daktronics.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
Arrive early to witness an epic pregame ceremony featuring the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Sports, non-sports, doesn't matter, but text it now, 866-979-3776. We had Warren Sharp on the show beginning at 1, and so this is actually not for What I Need to Know. Someone texted in after the interview, and they just wanted to know, like, hey, were you guys going to respond to what you thought about Warren? And yes, the interview ended up going really long, so we would normally have spent the second half of that doing it. But I thought we could start What I Need to Know with that, with just kind of what you thought after hearing Warren's argument yesterday, then talking to Warren Sharp today, what you make of his argument.
I think the concerns, I think I've said this about everyone who critiques the Seahawks, and especially when you compare them to the Rams and whatnot. The concerns are valid, but it overshadows what's coming back. Like, yeah, new coordinator. Yes, K9's not here. Yes, Kobe's out of there. Yes, Reek is there. Fleury has worked with Shanahan for years now and worked with Sam already. Sam's coming back. Best receiver in the game. Defensive line's intact. I'm not mad at the concerns. It's just don't let it overshadow what this team still has.
I actually really liked your counter argument to his quarterback point, which I thought was better than mine, and points to something that's happening with Seahawks analysis this season. One of Warren's points, and it was a fair one, was, hey, I think that they have the number one toughest strength of schedule in terms of opposing offenses and passers this year. So this isn't like overall teams. In terms of the quarterbacks and offenses they will face, Warren Sharp has them at the toughest schedule.
Yeah.
And the Rams and 49ers holding a ton of weight there with 4 games against those two teams. And he said, last year this defense was great, but they got great wins, and they got those wins over quarterbacks like Bryce Young and Kirk Cousins. And so my argument at the time was, well, Warren, the Rams didn't beat those quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. And, they can only play the schedule that's in front of them. They were also really dominant. But then you said, well, hang on. Why are we knocking the Seahawks for beating bad quarterbacks and then not giving them credit for beating last year's MVP? Because I don't know that this year's Matthew Stafford is going to be better than last year's Matthew Stafford. And they beat that guy twice.
That's as good as it gets for Matthew Stafford last year. And to duplicate that at 38, 39, I think it's going to be tough. Can he do it? Yeah, it's a possibility. But again, another example of highlighting a negative, or what can be perceived as a negative, and just forgetting the positive that happened with this squad. It makes me laugh, honestly. And I hope he comes back in like November, December, and we can talk again.
You know what I think part of it is too? The defense's best game against Matthew Stafford, and they shut him down, was in a loss.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it, as people go, well, LA's defense lost in those games.
Right.
Which, I don't know. I always like making an argument that you could always make one more play. Like the Rams offense in either of those didn't deserve the bulk of the blame by any means. They were really explosive. But, yeah, you can always make more plays. That being said, that first game, I think they held Stafford to 150.
Yeah.
This is the MVP. It was one of his single worst games of the season. They shut him down.
Yep.
And I think because it was a Rams win, it's that thing of another team gets credit, and the Seahawks just aren't getting credit where
just
it's
ignore
due.
that. Ignore
Not getting
that.
credit where it's due. I think it's well, they asked for our response.
150 didn't mean anything.
Yeah. What I need to know. Which one of you is the better singer? That's a great question. It's a great question.
Oh, it's Stacy all day. Stacy all day. You hear that angelic voice? I always think of that commercial, like Save a Dog, you know, when you donate every month. Yeah, that's what you remind me of.
My sister told me, like, you are objectively, and I'm not saying this to be mean or funny, the worst singer I've ever heard. And I thought that was fair. It's like I just...
You know what I think it is?
I can't do it.
You don't really try. You don't take it seriously. You do it as a joke. If you really try, though.
I'm not doing it as a joke. 866-979-3776. Have you ever seen someone run for the elevator you're already in, and then you go to the button panel and push the door close button?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yes, only hear me out.
For sure.
Does that button even work? Because I press that every time.
It works.
And the doors don't close.
There's a delay. There's a little delay. There's like a 2-second delay on that thing.
I'm convinced that it's just there. But yes, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I've looked someone right in their eyes and been like, I'm in a rush, brother.
Dang.
Wow. I mean, if they're close enough, I absolutely will like hold the door for them.
Yeah, but if it's like I'm already in the process,
I'm not waiting.
No,
I'm going, man. This is a quick elevator. You can get another one. There's one right there. But yeah, I'm not sure that button works. Is my theory. I don't think it works at all. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. He said he also docked us for having a new OC, but called it a plus for the Chargers.
22 new coordinators in the league right now. 22. But for some reason, they don't believe in what's going on over here.
I think it's because Fleury's a first-time play caller.
There's a few first time, not a bunch, but a few out there.
It's a factor. Yeah. I'm not saying it's totally fair.
Like I said, his concerns are real, but I think they're blown up a little bit.
What I need to know, given Bump's prestigious punting career in college, what can you punt further, a fish or a donut?
A donut wins again.
I know that's right.
No, the first one was definitely a fish was the winner there. I do think you could punt a donut further.
Fish is going to hurt. It's going to hurt your foot.
I don't know about that. Like a trout?
It's going to hurt your foot, Stacy. Trust me.
I don't think it would hurt mine. I just don't know. What I need to know, someone said, would you rather snap your fingers and have quarters appear, or snap your fingers and have cheeseburgers appear?
Quarters,
yeah.
All day.
Yeah, you can buy a cheeseburger with the
But you think about this. You'd have to snap your fingers 4 times for $1.
It said quarters, not a quarter.
Oh, so let's say like
50
you get a couple dollars.
Yeah.
50 cents. Okay, so you're snapping your fingers twice for $1. I'm just saying, to get $1 million, your hand's going to be a little sore.
Double. I'm doubling up right now.
That's
I got at least 50 right now.
$50?
No, 50 snaps. Do the math.
That's like $20.
That's $20.
Hey,
25
in 10 seconds? Let's go.
Someone said the secret of the elevator industry is that most of those buttons aren't activated.
Really?
I'm telling you, much like I don't think there's really much like I don't think there's really a tiger at Woodland Park Zoo. I don't think the buttons inside of the elevators.
I'm suing. That's false advertisement.
I think that there are some zoo exhibits where they don't really have that animal. Not specifically at Woodland Park, but you don't think the zoos sometimes were like, what if we just said we have a panda in here? You know? Or like, what if we just said that, like, in this big exhibit, there's like this little lizard where there's like 5 in the world. No one's gonna see. No one's gonna know.
I can see some grimy stuff going down like that.
Yeah. That would be the zoo that I would have. You know, it's because I would do those things as a zoo owner.
Grimy
like, you wouldn't
zoo.
believe it. It's the most endangered beetle you've ever seen.
Grimy zoo.
Oh, God. What I need to know, related to that conversation we were having earlier about leaving the bathroom door open or not when living with your significant other, what if you live alone, newly single, and realized I don't have to close the bathroom door, LOL?
Well, here's the thing, right? Most of the time I close the door. Sometimes I don't. But you want to close the door because you don't want that stank all in your room or your house.
It gets throughout your house, yeah.
Yeah, you got to close the door for the stank.
I just think...
I'll leave the door open to communicate real quick. Hey, here's some toilet paper.
Throw me a roll.
Oh, God. Wyman and Bob coming up next.
back. This afternoon, Wyman and Bob's annual Seafair Blue Angels broadcast extravaganza. So that's what we're calling it? Okie doke. Hear the Blue Angels buzz Wyman and the practice fields at the VMAC. Then seconds later, they blast over Bob and Mariners batting practice at T-Mobile. We're the only radio station with the rights to broadcast live from both. Today at 2, only on Seattle Sports.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Hey, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. You know our customers have a lot of fun with trying to figure out new and creative ways to use closeout bifold blanks to fill their needs. They can also be used as small double door units, access doors that are pre-hung, and even bypass doors. And with thousands of closeout bifold blanks in stock in Marysville and at our bargain barn, you can put your creative DIY mind to work. Come visit our showroom and bargain barn in Shoreline or on Cedar Avenue in Marysville. Also, be sure to check us out online at franklumber.com.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Dave Wyman joined by another Swedish cyberknife patient to offer a glowing endorsement of their prostate cancer treatment. Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish cyberknife treatment for prostate cancer. How did you hear about Swedish cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the cyberknife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it and I just went, that's it?
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Progressive presents the Museum of You. We begin our tour with a unique piece, a relic from the early big screen television era. Remarkable. Next, we find a juicer, which historians believe has only ever been used once. And finally, compact discs from the emo era. A rare find indeed.
Some things should be history, but until then you could protect what's important to you and save by bundling your auto insurance with a renter's policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Is your car's AC blowing warm air? Don't sweat it. Bucky's Complete Auto Care is here to help. Right now, you'll save $50 on any AC service. Whether it's a weekend getaway or the daily commute, you deserve a cool, comfortable ride. For over 50 years, local drivers have trusted Bucky's for honest pricing, expert repairs, and guaranteed work, earning them the Carfax Preferred status. 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy